The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stop! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Indy 500 Memorial Day weekend. Feel Good Friday, May 23rd, 2025. This program starts now. Sports are happening all around us. It is a massive weekend here in Indianapolis. It is a massive sports weekend. And obviously, for most people, it is a 3-day weekend. So let's take the weekend to think back on how awesome the Americans were in the past. They went to war and battle for us to live the life that we have today. And also, let's enjoy the hell out of this life we have. We have no idea when it's going to end. And on weekends like this, how could you not celebrate life with everything that sports is going to have in store for you? Saturday night's main event is tomorrow down in Tampa. Wow. People forget about that. We got the conference finals continuing to roll on this evening through the weekend. We'll have some golf, and guess what? Block is back, and his son is on the bag. So they're saying in the golf world, two blocks back. 2 blocks back. What's the course record? Yeah, 2 blocks back. Michael Blocky is back golfing in a very, very good manner. Mm-hmm. So not only do you have Blocky, 2 blocks, if you will, we got basketball, we got hockey, we got football, and we got the greatest spectacle in all of racing, the Indy 500, happening on Sunday here in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a great day to be alive. We hope you feel the same. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, 2 blocks back.
Yeah,
2 blocks back.
Listen,
what's the course record? Yeah, 2 blocks back.
I don't want to, kind of dampen the mood here. I know everyone loves Blocky. I don't. That's fine. If you do, that's fine. He's playing at the Chuck Schwab, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what he finished in that last year?
What's that?
Yeah, he got dead last. So
that was last week. He's not doing that this week.
Yeah, he tees off in about 2.5 hours. There's still a good chance Blocky shoots a 90 today. And
Ty doesn't love, that people started thinking that the greats were the same. Like Ty doesn't.
What, Tiger?
Blocky. Yeah, that is.
Exactly.
Ty doesn't like that. But we would like to let Blocky know we love the story, babe. You got your opportunity. You took advantage of it.
Loved it last year.
Met him at the ESPYs. It was fantastic. One half of the Hammer. Cowboys AP Tones wearing an Air Force jersey. Yeah. Hell yeah, America.
Yes, Memorial Day weekend, obviously. So, support everyone who gave everything for this country. And also, it's wear a jersey for the Pacers Friday. So the things just tied together.
That's a good idea, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the name of the day. I do think Connor was really pushing for that. I saw some people on the internet tell me that if I don't wear a jersey today for half the show, like I did game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, that probably means the Pacers are going to lose. I'd like to let everybody know it's okay if they lose. They're not going to, though. And I would rather display the greatness as a tag team partner as opposed to thinking I'm on the team myself.
Yeah,
and the boys in the change room understand that, okay? Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, Tyrese Halliburton, Neesmith, Pascal Siakam,
Right.
Miles Turner,
Right.
Nemhard,
Right.
T.J. McConnell,
Right.
and Coach Carlisle and the boys are going to do battle with Jaylen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and a group that is potentially going to be dog-tired because they don't play as many players, and the Indiana Pacers are known to give you the gasser treatment up and down the court. Now, this has become an incredible rivalry once again. The history of the NBA, having the Pacers and the Knicks battle each other in premier prime time events, is good for the business of ball. 6.6 million people watched the first game. What will tonight hold? We shall see. It's going to be epic, and good luck. Good luck, all boys.
Go get them.
More specifically, the Pacers. We'd like to see you go ahead and win that one. But Jaylen Brunson in Madison Square Garden, they're not going to go down 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals, are they? In front of Timothy Chalamet?
They might be.
In front of John Hamm's getting his hands on the balls?
Yeah.
Listen, we love John Hamm, but let's not get too handsy there, Hamm, okay? The boys are at work out there. Tracy Morgan. I mean, literally the who's who.
Yeah, everybody.
Ben Stiller.
Larry
David.
I think Spike's back from Con.
Oh, good luck, Tyrese. Hey, stacked house against you.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck to the boys and the Pacers. This weekend's huge in Indianapolis, and all the stars are kind of filtering in to our lovely city, our lovely state. And, ladies and gentlemen, this is becoming an annual tradition. A man who's been a writer and on certainly massive platforms, now currently writing for .com, and a man who is a friend of the program. He's a race expert, but I think he's an expert on everything. And that's kind of what I've learned from him. Ladies and gentlemen, host Mario McGee, the McGee part, Ron McGee.
Yeah, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing amazing. It's good to be here. Hell, this is the center of the sports universe.
What do you mean by that?
Well, all right, so the Pacers did what they did the other night, which I didn't see. I was at this thing, and I went to the airport Thursday morning to come to Indianapolis, and every TV at the airport is showing the last minute of the game. Awesome. Amazing. Mm-hmm. And you got, I hear Caitlin Clark's pretty good at basketball.
Well, she was in one last night with Atlanta.
Yeah. Yep.
She was in the middle of a tough battle.
And obviously we got the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500, my favorite event to cover in the world. Mm-hmm. And condolences to you and all your friends and family and with Jim Irsay. I mean, this is the center of the sports universe.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see the actual Stanley Cup in a few minutes.
Okay. He was here yesterday.
I know. I'm not. Well, hell, and by the way, y'all had Cole Trickle on the show. I'm not sure what else.
Yes,
I'm not sure what else anyone could want. This is the greatest week of all time.
Yeah, Tom was in. It was wild. That was wild. That was a really wild scene.
That was literally one of those. Because I turned the show on, you get the TV where it's the automatic channel in the middle of the day, and I'm eating lunch, and I turn the show on, you guys are always on, and I was like, y'all were a little busy, so I didn't text anybody. I was like, damn, Tom Cruise is on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And then he was on the show and on the show and on the show and on the show. It was awesome.
35 minutes.
Does he like movies? Does Tom Cruise like movies?
And popcorn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Loves popcorn.
Yeah.
Did you think he was eating?
The thing with the pop, it's like an internet thing, right? How he eats his popcorn.
Well, just in that one particular video.
Right.
Because in other videos of him eating popcorn, it's very standard operating popcorn procedure. That one, he was rolling the dice a lot.
Having fun.
He was rolling dice, and he was throwing that thing, I think. And this is the one. Yeah, it was the. See, did he catch that popcorn in his mouth?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, he's yucking it up.
He's do whatever he wants. Yeah, well, and you see that. There was another picture. So he's been going to all these movie theaters and like surprising people.
Yes.
And the other night, like his PR people were getting irritated because he was like talking to the popcorn girls for like an hour, and they were like, "We got to go," and he just, I don't know what.
Did you hear about ours?
Popcorn?
Did you hear about ours?
Yeah.
You talk about him having too much interest in these people that have been working at the movie theaters, which he was appreciative of, I think was his big angle.
Oh, yeah.
Was the big thing. Like, hey, thank you for doing what you're doing. For us, it was supposed to be 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Clearly. Yeah. Like, hey, this is 10 to 15 minutes. That's the time we have. Tom's in the middle of shooting 5 movies and also in the middle of this press run.
Yeah.
I guess he was down in Mexico City. They told us he was in a different country, but then I saw he was in Mexico City for one of the premieres down there. That place was packed out.
Huge
He photos everywhere. It was like, he was so cool to us.
Yeah.
He was so cool to
I don't know
us.
how he does it all.
Yeah. I assume this clip will be seen at some point. He stayed afterwards, after our conversation with him, because I asked him a question. I asked him, hey, for real, like, there's a chance I'm going to be doing some acting in a movie. I was asked to be in a movie. I'm not an act. Like, I don't know which I think. He gave me a masterclass.
Did he really?
7 minutes of just
PhD.
like, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to think, this is who you need to talk to, these are the questions you're allowed to ask, this is who you're not allowed to, this is what you should not think about, this is what you should think about, you need to meet this person if you're going to do this, you need to talk to this person if you're going to do this. Like, obviously, 10 to 15 minutes was the time slotted.
That's unbelievable.
35 minutes he talks to us, and then immediately afterwards, I'm like, hey, seriously, though, thank you so much for the time, and is there anything I should think about? And you see him, like, think about leaving, and then he's like,
I got to help this guy.
No,
I got to help this guy.
For the movies.
He sits down, and he looks directly at the camera, and he goes for 6.5 minutes. I think it's 6:45 or something like that.
Straight.
Just masterclass of what I need to think about. And, yeah, and then he got up and left. He was like, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Thank you so much. I got to go.
Yeah,
and then we
dove out of the window behind him right after.
He was awesome. So we're very thankful for Tom and everybody that spends time on our show because how stupid everything we do is, including you. Now, I must say, Ryan McGee, before we get started, there is a clip that we saw that we might need to get cleared up.
Okay, I knew this.
Last year, I snuck up to Pat McAfee's place.
Oh, yeah,
And,
I saw that.
Yeah, I did the show for 3 hours, and man, they smoked so much weed. And I was like, and they're like, do you want any of this? I go, I got to go back to Gasoline Alley, guys. If I just, just collaterally, I'm already a little buzzed. I'm going to get run over by somebody rolling out from
You're
practice.
You're talking about CBD, got you a little collateral damage?
No, you got to understand, I'm a very delicate person, right? And I knew it was funny when I said it. I literally, because that's my office at the house, and I look over, my wife is looking at me like, and I get done, and she's like, this is going to come back. I go, I know it's going to come back. I go, we're going to find out if those guys listen to Connor's show. But no.
We do. We love Connor.
Yeah.
And Garage Guy Chase, I believe, is the other lad on
They're
there.
great.
But yeah, we appreciate you coming on and chit-chatting about coming here.
No,
because we love having you here.
Well, and last year was so much fun, and I'm never throwing a football again because I'm never going to throw one like that again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
No, that was one of the greatest moments of my life. And so I became an internet sensation for about 10 minutes. It was awesome for a good reason.
Hold on,
Hold
on though. I think the Bojangles chicken story is still
Which, by the way, Dan Bojangles sent you guys a bunch of chicken. They didn't send me nothing. And so literally the HQ's around the corner from my house. So
they got you.
But I was like, well, I'm glad I got to feed the guys.
You did. It did feel like it was a breakfast from McGee.
But just so you know, you could drive it down to the house. It's literally 10 minutes from the house.
At Cary or from HQ?
Yeah, no, HQ is literally I used to work in an office on the same street as Bojangles HQ.
See, they know they got you.
Yeah.
They sent us to try to win it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hook, line, sinker.
Have you been Cary, North Carolina? How far is that from you?
Cary?
Yeah.
A couple hours. I grew up in Raleigh, so Cary is in the Raleigh suburbs.
Okay,
Yep.
sweet.
Yep.
We're going to be down there for 2 years coming up here in a couple weeks or whatever for this the soccer tournament.
Oh, yeah. No, Cary's awesome. Cary, when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I ran track or whatever. When we had meets at Cary, it was like you needed a damn passport. Like it was out in the middle of nowhere. And now it's like the richest zip code in North Carolina. That's where USA Baseball is based there. Yep. It's unbelievable.
And the facility, the complex that we played,
insane.
So nice.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Frisco, Texas. Frisco, there was nothing there 20 years ago, and now it's like Main Street USA. Like everything's brand new, and Jerry Jones is there, and it carries like that. Like everything looks like it was just built.
Yeah, shout out to Cary. Can't wait to beat Dahn.
Yeah, there you go. Go Imps.
Can't wait to beat Dahn and Cary.
That's their high school, Cary Imps.
The Imps, like Hemps?
IMPS. I don't even know what the hell an imp is.
Well, I do.
Yeah, there's a couple letters you can put in front of that could really change.
I'm not sure if they were back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, because if you put a P in front of that, a little bit different than putting an S in front of that.
Yeah. Put an L.
I'm not saying we did that when we played them, but I'm saying we probably did.
What were the chants? What were the chants?
Yeah.
What'd you guys say?
We would literally spray paint and you add letters to it. Yeah.
Which letter did you add?
It was P then because the G really wasn't a thing then.
Okay.
I'm old.
What about the S?
S, yeah.
That wasn't a thing then, but I'm sure they do it now. Yeah, I'm gonna if they are indeed still the Imps.
Okay, let's talk.
I was an Enloe Eagle, so screw them.
They are still the Imps.
Yep.
We are getting information in the back that they are still the Imps. You're here for the Indy 500 this weekend. Massive stories throughout it, including a cheating scandal that has led to everybody on Team Penske of importance getting fired the week of Indy 500. Joseph Newgarden, who has won the Indy 500 in the past, he is actually being punished because of what was happening with their car. So what is this?
Yeah, he's the two-time defending champion. So there's only 5 guys in the history of the race since 1911 that have won it back-to-back. He has the best chance, I believe, to be the first to ever win 3 in a row. But yeah, so basically, back in the 90s when I first started covering Indy cars were breaking all these guys' backs. Like they would back into the wall, and the back of the car was so stiff, even at a slow speed, it just would basically just spear them in the spine, and they would be paralyzed. And so they added this thing called a rear end attenuator. And I'm telling you, it is almost exactly like that bottle right there. And it's designed to crush. So when it hit the wall, it absorbs energy and keeps it from going into the cockpit and injuring the driver. And so you don't mess with safety stuff. You just don't. You can, the other things you might get in trouble, but you don't mess with the things that were added to save drivers' lives. And so that attenuator is basically in sections designed to collapse. And they had welded the 2 main sections together and then smoothed it over. The idea being that it was more aerodynamically, it was quicker or whatever. It's probably the minimal improvement, but what it did is it created a situation where that's not going to crush. And so, you might be setting up a situation to paralyze your driver.
Yes.
To break your driver's back. So you don't mess with those things. This is the second scandal that Penske has been involved in. Roger Penske has won the Indy 500 20 times as an owner, but he also owns IndyCar. He owns Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Indy 500 is his baby, and he's Mr. Integrity. And it was his team that keeps getting busted doing stuff. So that's why everyone was fired. And I'm stunned. Like Tim Cindric in particular, who'd been president of the organization forever. His son drives for Penske in NASCAR, won the Daytona 500. But for them to just clean house is just
week of the Super Bowl.
The captain's done. So yeah, just imagine if Jerry Jones became the commissioner of the NFL, but still operated the Cowboys, and then the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, but then the Cowboys had some cheating scandal. That's what this is. It's just the level of it is just crazy.
Yeah, and Penske fired everybody. I assume that there is plausible deniability from Penske's part of this happening.
Right.
And also Joseph Newgarden probably did not know this was happening.
Right. The argument is these are the parts that would deliver us by Dallara that builds the cars. We've rotated, so we didn't, it was only in 2 of the 3 cars. So their part, we were handed this part is their argument. But that's what Roger Penske said initially. And now he's cleaned house.
Is that what it is right there?
Yeah. So what am I? I need a better.
I don't know where you.
No. So this is the rear end of the car, headed to the left, and back that thing right there in the back. And so normally there's 2 sections. There's separate sections. Again, it's designed to crush, and those were welded together. So
Newgarden probably had driver would normally have no idea.
Driver would normally have no idea. The cars are basically like stock cars delivered by this corporation that builds them right over here in Speedway, and so their argument is, well, we didn't know. But I believe that Roger Penske, once he started doing his due diligence, realized something else was there.
Yeah, somebody had to have known something.
And again, the advantage aerodynamically is super minimal. But it's the idea of this second year in a row, y'all getting caught doing something, mistake or not, because you said it was a mistake first time, now you said it's a mistake second time. But that's not the point. The point is you're messing with safety, and you're just kind of thumbing your nose.
And Newgarden's one of the greatest drivers on earth right now. He's also incredibly handsome, and he's an American. So
and married a Disney princess. He picked up. He goes to Disney World with his family, and Belle, I think she was, the Disney princess. They're doing a meet and greet with the family, and he was like, man, I like her, and she was like, man, I like him, and they found each other on social media a couple of days later because there's very strict rules about
what Bella's allowed to do down there.
She's with the Beast.
The Beast also wanted to
so mad. Everybody's mad at Joseph.
And Gaston. Don't forget about Gaston.
Think about the Beast when he found out a driver.
Seriously.
Broke the teacups.
And then you look at Joseph Newgarden, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
No. It makes you Joseph Newgarden falls. I always call it the Jesse Palmer category. It makes you mad. you can't be that good looking and also be talented and also be a really nice guy. You can't. It just makes you mad.
Yeah, Newgarden's always been good to me. I think he's been on the show a couple times.
Yep.
He's a good dude. I've kind of seen him since he was a young lad coming out of Nashville all the way up until now.
Yep.
And obviously he's earned everything. Sucks that he's a part of this because in the driving world, I don't know how much people know about IndyCar or racing as a whole. It's that is not something that Joseph Newgarden's telling him go ahead and do that.
Right.
Joseph Newgarden doesn't want that to happen. And now I think there's a chance that his name, because now he's starting what position, 32nd?
He's starting on the back row. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's 30th or something?
If he wins it, the race has never been won from further back than 28th. That's only happened twice, and the first time was the very first race in 1911. The other time was 1936. So
we chatted about this a little bit before, though. His car is going to be faster than any car that has ever started.
He's going to go through the field quick.
Or
he's going to wreck trying to get through the field, or
he holds off. We need you to hold, Joseph.
Yeah. No offense to the back half of the field, but there's a lot of young and experienced racers out there, and so he's going to have to navigate that. And you be patient. You're telling a race car driver to be patient, right? That goes against everything they're about. But you got a couple hours.
He needs to stay out of the shit.
He could do it. Scott Dixon, who said to me yesterday, he said, the sad thing about this, we're talking about this.
As opposed to
the fact that the weather's going to be cool. The cars are going to be super fast. It's going to be a great race. Should be a great race. We're all talking about the scandal. But Scott Dixon also said there's no way, and he's starting toward the front. He's fourth. He said there's no way I'm not going to see Joseph Newgarden before the race is over with.
Yeah.
So everybody agrees if he just can get through the
shit.
No offense to the ding-dongs in the back. Then it'll be all right.
They're great drivers, obviously. They're Indy
The
500.
imps. If you can get through the imps in the back, it'll be all right.
With the P there, obviously. There's a massive crash. There's a lot of people there. In the front, you're kind of on the outside. In the back, you're on the outside. But in the middle, there's a lot of shit happening. 3 wide, 4 wide happening from people that aren't very experienced in the Indy 500. And then all of a sudden, they get a shot, boom. And once you get one with all those people around, that's when, Scott Dixon, a couple years back, 2017, he got airborne, flipped up like this because another car crashed in front of him, and he tried to get out. There's normally full chaos in like the first 20 laps, right? In that corner?
Yeah, in the history of that race, again, it's been around since this will be the 109th running. In the history of that race, most of the worst big crashes happen at the beginning because once they get 10 laps in, everybody gets a little strung out and all that. But the nature of these cars now, too, back when I was growing up, if you had 3 leaders in the race, it was a huge deal. Now, last year there was like 50 lead changes. So
Kyle Larson told us you don't want to be in the lead.
Right.
He said, actually, you don't want to be in the lead. Now, in the lead, you get more money. So there's cars that aren't as funded or teams that aren't as powerful. They'll steal laps where they're in the lead. And that's because you get more money for every lap that you're in the lead. And also you're being talked about on TV. And everybody that's in racing knows that as soon as old buddy gets out of pit, you are getting past. Yet again, there's a lot of that happens to a lot of jousting.
Joseph has made a last lap pass the last 2 years to win the race. And that used to never happen. It happened only a handful of times in 100 years, and now it happens.
He started next to Will Power.
Yeah.
And then VK, and then right in front of him, Marco Andretti.
Yep.
Up left is Graham Rahal.
Yep.
Oh. So there's a lot of vets, actually.
Yeah, no, and that'll help in the beginning. And then in the middle, there's a lot of rookies in this race, or a lot of really young guys. But yeah, it's going to help. And the fact that Marco and Graham, in fact, I'm going to talk to Graham later this afternoon. But Kelton Herta, these guys, Ryan Hunter-Reay's been around forever. He won this race. So yeah, but when you get into the middle, again, no offense to some of these guys. And listen, Kyle Larson, what a great having him here. He's awesome. But even Kyle, this is only the second time he's ever run this race. So there's going to be a lot going on. Stingray Robb, by the way, is one of the greatest names in the history of sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
one of the greatest names in the history of sports.
Yeah, we knew he'd be driving a Chevy, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
We knew he'd be
How old's Ed Carpenter?
Ed Carpenter owns the team that he's racing for.
Yeah,
he's from
been
Indy.
around forever.
He's from Brownsburg, I think.
Yeah, he's from here. If he were to win this race, the grandstand would lose their mind because he was born and raised here.
What year was it? Maybe 2000. Ed had a good run.
He finished second.
Ed was about to win, and the place was about to go absolutely from Brownsburg. Scott Dixon maybe going to be in GOAT conversations whenever he's done with how great he has been. And then you got Robert Schwartzman, the rookie.
Out of nowhere. Team has never been here before. He's never been here before. Nicole Briscoe, SportsCenter anchor, her husband, Ryan, one of the all-time great guys, has been kind of Robert's coach. Robert's never been in an oval race, never raced on an oval in his life. He comes from the Formula One deal. And so it's going to be – and I love Takuma Sato. When he finally won this race, the coolest thing is so there's this group of Japanese reporters, and all they do is they follow Takuma Sato. And they followed him for years. And he's the nicest guy in the world, super fast, but always wrecked with a chance to win. When Takuma Sato finally won the Indy 500 a few years ago, everyone in the media center turned around and looked at those Japanese guys and were like,
congrats.
And they lost their minds because they finally got the payoff. For years they've been traveling with him.
Yeah, and they took the Borg Warner over to Japan, did a full media tour over there. Yeah, I remember that. It was a good time. It was a few years back.
Yep.
Since we've been doing the show, I believe it happened. Can't wait to follow the coverage this weekend. And thank you for the breakdown. Feel like I know more about it. Good luck to Pato O'Ward, who's currently the odds-on favorite to win. I enjoy the Joseph Newgarden revenge story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At plus.
Now, if he wins, it's going to be – there will be those that are obviously going to say it's, tainted or whatever. If he wins, it's going to be one of the greatest stories.
He's got a whole new team.
Yeah.
He's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He's the three-peat.
Yeah.
This is the three-peat.
It's hard to do.
Pat Riley's probably waiting for
109 years, no one's won 3 in a row. So I like seeing stuff I've never seen before.
Yeah,
so if he won 3 in a row, I would.
Are you doing the Kyle Larson travel this year? Because we had Kyle in the studio the other day.
Yeah.
He's a little fella. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He was a great conversation with us. And we told him to go on and win.
Yeah, go win that.
Go win that.
Go win both of them.
Go win that thing. Yeah, I did that last year, and it was Mother Nature kicked our butt. Yeah. From the time we woke up Sunday morning until I went to bed in Charlotte at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, nope. So I'm getting a little old for that. But yeah, we have a writer on site, so I'm going to let Kelly Crandall pick that up. We're going to relay that deal. So I'm either going to be hanging out with y'all on Sunday night, or I'll be back in Charlotte.
Game 3,
Yeah.
Pacers Knicks Sunday night after the Indianapolis 500, which follows obviously Monaco for F1.
Sure.
So watch Monaco, judge F1 entirely off of that.
Yep.
Then watch the Indy 500, and then watch the Coca-Cola 600 at night.
Greatest day of racing.
And then we'll just see. Just judge them.
Yeah.
Just see what is real and what is.
I love this. I know where you're going. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
The spectacle of Monaco is amazing. The racing.
Well, I just saw Vanderstappen has his new yacht out there in Monaco, and that's awesome. I do like that. $1 million plus in upkeep. It looked beautiful. I mean, as that thing was sailing in there, it looked absolutely. But that's what that is.
Right.
Look at the yachts and stuff.
Everything but the race.
Yeah, we're here for racing. Okay, we're here for Joseph Newgarden getting a brand new car, brand new team as the back-to-back champ, starting in 32nd place. We like to see him kind of work his way, work strategy, kind of get through there.
Yeah.
We like a rookie who was maybe into Formula One camps, coming over here and leading whenever there's nobody else on the track.
Yeah, he might have said too.
That's where he's at home.
We'll see how that goes.
I
might
love
be-
talking Formula One with Pat McAfee. That's one of my favorite things. I was in Miami. I was at the Miami race. Talking about your boy Chalamet. I saw him at the Miami race at the start of the month, and the event was amazing. And there was one pass for the lead, and it was great. And the rest of it, it was fine.
Exactly.
But
we're at a live event
But the
here.
event was, again, you go for the event. It was awesome.
We agree.
Half the NFL was there. It was great. But it was. Yeah,
We're from Indianapolis, so I kind of live here and I know all the people, so I kind of feel obligated. Even if I was at odds with the entire operation over there, while the F1 thing was running, I was like, all right, I'll check it out. I was actually looking to enjoy it.
Did you go when it was here?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because they ran here for years.
I had to cut the grass. I think Schwartzman though might be one of those guys where he says, "Hey, F1, that's not racing. Like the reason I came over here was because I want to pass guys." He might have.
Yeah, you're right. He might be at that dog.
I don't think we can judge him till after this race because if he does just finish last or something.
He was in the Ferrari deal. He was in the Ferrari pipeline. And now he's over here.
Yeah, now he's going to do some racing.
Yeah, now he's ready.
Yeah, welcome over here, bud. Good luck out there. Sitting on a pole has never been an easy thing to do, especially at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He gets that in his first attempt. Good luck. That's a big bonus as well. Let's talk about, other sports that are happening, including basketball last night. This Oklahoma City team might be for real.
Yeah, they're the real deal.
Yeah, they might be for real. We watched Minnesota basically just the body language, the play, the score, everything would indicate that Minnesota kind of understands that maybe this is going to be a tough out here. There's a chance that we got a sweep happening and brewing in the Western Conference Finals. Good for them. They might be able to get a break. Depending upon what happens here tonight in Madison Square Garden, there might be a sweep in the East, even though that first game was absolutely insane. We're still potentially on pace for that, but I don't think that's in reality at all between the Knicks and the Pacers. Over there, I don't know how Oklahoma City stopped. They are so damn dominant. I don't know how much you've got a chance to see of this team, McGee. We did not watch a lot throughout the season. That's on us, okay? I will say they were about the 40th storyline in the Western Conference alone by the end of the season, let alone the Luka trade, and then let alone Malone and the GM getting fired from Denver, let alone Golden State on the big Jimmy Butler trade, let alone San Antonio has Wemby. There's just so many stories in the West. Oklahoma City being the greatest venue in the NBA is what people say.
It's unbelievable.
And also the greatest team in the NBA, only having 14 losses all season, was somehow, and I could see why, because it's Oklahoma City, I guess is what people would say. They have the MVP. They have the least amount of losses, and they are dominating everybody through this playoffs run. I think if you're the Pacers or the Knicks, you're trying to figure out how you can conserve yourself to get to a finals and keep up with this Oklahoma City team.
Yeah, it's just like Boston last year. Like basically everything you said, it feels like we were saying about the Celtics. Like when there is that one team that is so far ahead of everybody, like Oklahoma City, there's almost no point to talk about them because everyone knew that they were going to be in it at the end. And of course, last series went 7, but I think it was Q-Rich who came on here and said, hey, if they just win their home games, they win the title. And
watching them at home, I think Julius Randle, there was a clip of him being shown, and he had a tough outing. Hartenstein had his way with him last night, but Julius Randle with 6 minutes left, there's a clip of him telling his family, hey, get out of here. It's time to go. And then, the Jaden McDaniels, there's an interview of him either before the game or yesterday saying, maybe we're a little too physical. We need to kind of taper that back a little and play smart defense. And then last night he's pushing SGA onto the ground, two-hand shove. They get under your skin. They're so much better on offense and defense. It's hard to imagine anybody beating them in 7 games, but you never know.
Hey, Pacers can run with them, and Jaylen Brunson's still Jaylen Brunson.
Uh-huh.
So people have to remember that. But watching that, it's that might be one of the most dominant teams of all time.
Yes.
I'm watching that game last night. I'm getting bored. I'm like, damn, this is not even. And then you go over to the NHL game.
Boy, that was boring.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
The only thing you're looking for is the Florida Panthers to kind of implement a little punishment to the Carolina Hurricanes, and they did. Here's Marshy on
Shane Goss,
the guy that clap bombed a puck at him from his own blue line in the last game. Got a little comeuppance, and then big lad there. I don't have his name. That's on me, fella. Anyways, they dominated the Carolina Hurricanes, not only on the scoreboard, but also physically. Big shot. Here's Greer. Boom. Take a seat, pal. And then here's another one. Guy gets caught up in a double. Greer again, bang, coming in and flying around.
Goss's beer again. That was Shano.
Yeah, they're just beating the hell out of the Carolina Hurricanes, mentally, physically, and it feels like that's a sweep. So what we're kind of realizing is every other night now, because if those two are going to be sweeps, which very much could
looks
be,
as if
very, very, very much could be, I think tonight's action is the one that we're going to need to pay attention to. And then bang, I think the next day, and then we're going to be back. But that's your Carolina Hurricanes.
Go Canes. I've been sitting there, I've been waiting you guys to quit banging on them. No, it is what it is. Yeah,
banging on them, that's what the Panthers
are
doing.
Right, 14 straight.
Y'all talking about going to Cary, so that the arena there is literally right around the corner from Cary, right next to Carter Finley Stadium, home of the NC State Wolfpack football team.
Oh, everybody loves the Wolfpack. Everybody also loves the Caniacs, brother. They love also this thing that they do at the beginning. 20,000 strong, Caniacs, that's a great building. That's a great venue.
It is a great building. So it's funny because I went to work at ESPN right out of college, right out of Tennessee, and I lived in Connecticut, and they treated me like a foreign exchange student for 2 years. Because back then, ESPN is much bigger now, but it was a little place, no Southerners. They're like, Ryan, do you like grinder sandwiches? They always talk to me. And so, but I became the only damn thing to do in Hartford was to go to Hartford Whalers games, and they played their games in a mall and all that. And so we would go to games, and I became this huge Whalers fan, and I had no idea what I was looking at. And so all of my coworkers call me Pucks McGee because I'm like, now what's the deal with the red line? And I knew about Wayne Gretzky, and I knew about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. Past that, whatever. And so I had a Whalers jersey. I got it like a gas station, like the whole deal. So then when I moved, the joke became like they were my team. When I moved to North Carolina with ESPN 2 years later, they came right behind me. They followed. I'm like, see,
follow Pucks.
There you go. They love me so much. They follow Pucks.
Pucks McGee will take you to the promised land.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
The fans down there in Carolina are awesome.
Yeah.
The building and the atmosphere is talked about as being maybe one of the best, if not the best. I know there's some Canadian teams that'll talk about it in America in the NHL.
It wasn't last night. They were pissed.
Their team is so good whenever they do their thing. But as soon as they run into a team that can just get them off of their shit, their script, it's over. And I think that's happened in the finals for them. 14 straight games in the conference finals they've lost. So once they meet the team.
It gets a little uneasy. Yeah, they're always there, but they're never there.
Yeah, but when they get there, they're going to run into a team.
Yeah.
Like, this is the problem. Because as you whittle away the teams, you're going to get to the actual good teams.
Yep.
And they all just can take you right out of your script, basically. So how do you respond? How do you counter that? And they've just never been able to do that for whatever reason. The Florida Panthers are also very good. Yeah. But it does feel like the Carolina Hurricanes have this issue where they have no adjustments whenever they finally meet a team that can kind of take care of their shit.
And Rob Brindamore said last night in his postgame, we had a plan, and then in the first period, I have no idea what the hell happened. I don't know what they were doing out there. And that kind of goes back to, I think, what the Big Rig said, where like coaching in the NHL is a little different because once the puck drops, it's hard to change anything. And so whatever plan they had, they did not stick to it because the Panthers just came out. They scored less than 2 minutes in, and then that's basically all she wrote. They got him off their game.
What's old buddy's name in goal for Carolina?
Freddie Anderson.
Somebody needs to go play catch with this guy.
Yeah.
They are peppering.
Yeah.
They are hammering glove side, and the Panthers looking like they can be a team that can run it right back. Oilers Stars tonight. Obviously, Stars have a massive comeback in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, down 3-1, then score 3 goals in the first 6 minutes of period 3, and then run away with it. Connor McJesus and the boys looking to win a title for Canada and for themselves for the first time, long time. Dallas trying to keep this thing in America. Good luck to Otter. Good luck to Mikko, Draisaitl, McJesus, and the boys. Should be a great game. This is going to be a good game. Mm-hmm. Not like what Carolina's putting up against the Florida Panthers. Now,
everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
That's right. Mike Tyson said that. And in hockey, it seems like over a 7-game series, it's not just in the mouth you get punched. You also get punched in the lower back. Yep. You get punched in the ribs.
Legs sometimes.
I think the wrists get it,
Big old bruise in your bicep.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you got to play hockey with Gunther. Anyways, let's get back to some NBA talk with friend of the program, ladies and gentlemen, man who's played in the NBA for 13 years. Absolute dog, co-host of the Knuckleheads podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Richardson.
Hey, Rich.
Appreciate it, fellas.
You see that, Q Rich? That's like 2 weeks old now at this point, dude.
How did that happen?
Not flexing. Gunther. Yeah, me and Gunther got into a dogfight in there in St. Louis, and he wanted to chop me with a backhand like this one time, and I think maybe the elbow caught me in the shoulder. Next day, couldn't lift my left arm. I'm like, what the hell happened to my left arm? I watched it back at the end. He gave me like a slingshot lariat, and I landed on my shoulder. I was like, oh, maybe I dislocated my shoulder. Then I was moving. I was like, no, it's fine. I just can't move. Then 4 days later, this thing came in, and I don't think it's leaving anytime soon.
No.
I mean, that's 2 weeks old in there. That was a deep bruise.
Oh, yeah. Contusion.
I mean, I might have had a bone bruise from his elbow.
Truly.
That's the blood coming up to the surface, huh?
Yeah, man. That's body healing. That's body healing. You know, maybe I need to go smack some wood.
Yeah, not a bad
Maybe
idea.
I need to go bop some wood. You know? Yeah. All right. Let's get to it. Hey, this Oklahoma City team, outrageous right now. And we are a part of the problem, I think Oklahoma City fans would say, because we obviously have a lot of people that watch, for whatever reason, on all the platforms that we are currently on. And we didn't talk about Oklahoma City at all. The only time we talked about Oklahoma City throughout the entirety of the NBA season, we kept saying, everybody's saying we need to talk about OKC more. And then we talk about OKC with SGA. This guy's going to win the MVP. And then we move on to every other storyline that was obviously part of the global headlines. This team's outrageous. Do you think Minnesota knows they have no chance here? What do you think the thoughts are out of Minnesota's camp? And with Oklahoma City, it feels like they're only getting more confident somehow. Is that accurate with how you're feeling?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, obviously, they did what they were supposed to do. You're supposed to protect your home court, come out and win the first 2 games. If I'm Minnesota, I mean, obviously, you're a little disappointed in the way you perform, but I mean, they got to know that they going back home to Minnesota. They're going to have a crazy crowd, and they got to handle their business out. Their job is to protect their home court, get game 3, and then worry about game 4 after that. Then you got to turn your attention to trying to win on the road in OKC, where it's looked very tough for them in the first 2 games.
Yeah, Oklahoma City seems like they're going to be tough for everybody. They have been. Yeah, they have been all year. They've been.
They're a really good team. If y'all been sleeping, I don't know how. They've been this good the entire season long.
All right, Q, Rich, we get it. I just admitted that. I just said that we were a part of the problem. I don't need you to double down, okay? But yes, this team might be, they're talking about maybe one of the most dominant seasons of all time.
I mean, when you look at the amount of points they won, the games by, the double-digit victories, and how they had very few close contests, I mean, I'm not a big, going deep dive into the stats like that, but I mean, probably statistically, I don't think people would look at them as all time and say that just with the collection of guys they got. But I mean, statistically, from what I'm hearing, they definitely are up there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to build that narrative now, and Oklahoma City fans are like, yeah,
told you.
Yeah, that is what we have been saying this entire time. He's obviously been going bananas. He's a foul artist, is what Coach Malone says.
Yep.
He's not the only one in the league. Their ability to be able to work the rules and make it appear as if a foul is happening is better than others. It's a talent. It's a skill. And until they stop calling it, why would he stop doing it, is basically his message. And every former player that I've talked to basically has said that. And whenever we take it to our game, it's like Patrick Mahomes isn't scared to get a little extra if it's going to gain 15 yards. And he's by far the best guy in our league. So I guess we can't really say much about it. They're going to call it. You got to take advantage of it. He certainly has. And they've been dominant. And the games are boring. Mm-hmm. The games are boring.
Bummer.
But the atmosphere is electrifying down there. So congrats all of Oklahoma. And yeah, let's see if Ant-Man can answer at home. I hope he's able to do it. It doesn't feel likely. Rudy Gobert has this pregame dribbling routine.
He's got handles.
Yeah, he can do it.
Did you see this, Q Rich? Did you guys?
Yeah.
AI.
ESPN TikTok certainly did him no favors putting this out.
Yeah.
Now, somebody had this on camera somewhere because he's doing this in a public place. So this is probably going to get out
big
somewhere.
fella getting loose, man. This is just one of the ways you try and figure out to get yourself going in the game. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not going to try any of that in the game.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay, Pat.
No,
I see.
No, I just Rudy Gobert. Think about it is I've never played organized basketball.
You're in a tight space.
Yeah, it's tight space. Hey, the balls are flat. If I had a good wood. Hey, if I could bop this off a good wood. Good wood, you know what I mean? Yeah. Need some of that good wood to get that Rudy Gobert dribbling technique.
I think all that blood from that bruise went straight to your face just then.
Well, my face is always red, McGee. You know that. I mean, that is part of the game. Rudy Gobert was done no favors, but they need to pick it up if they're going to make this a series because, boy, it seems as if that thing is a one-way bullet train running over everybody in Oklahoma City. Let's talk about the other series tonight. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Q-Rich, Knicks lose in devastating fashion. Overtime, there's now clips coming out before overtime of some of the Knicks players kind of arguing on the bench when they were up, I think, like 123, 118 before the comeback was complete. How deflating of a loss is this for the Knicks? Do you see them kind of bouncing back immediately, or is this one of those, hey, this could linger into game two, and then when they come back to Indiana, it becomes a must-win situation? Or do you think Thibodeau already told them, like, hey, we got to get this done, get over it. It's time to go back out there, win a game, and tie the series?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty positive that Coach Thibodeau and even the players are probably telling each other like, hey, it's over with, it's done with, it's happened, and we got to flush it down the toilet and move on to the next game. And I'm pretty sure that everybody is planning to do just that. But I mean, the thing I'll be paying attention to is do they really achieve doing that? Because I mean, it's not as easy as just saying it and doing it. The way they lost that game in that fashion, never in history done before. But I mean, even if it had happened in history before, the fact that it happened to the Knicks in the Garden, it's a different feeling. Like now, when I come into this game tonight, watching this game, if the Knicks don't start off lightning fast and get that crowd on fire, you'll hear it. Or even if they get out to a start, as they start to come back, you'll be able to sense from watching on TV, every shot is gonna have a. If they miss, it builds in the Garden like nowhere else. I played there 4 years, been there a bunch of times. I'm telling you, when you struggle and in this type of situation after that game, it's going to be so important for them to start this game out in a good way to give their crowd something to get loud about. And they're still going to have a little back of their head like we can't get too ahead of ourselves because they just came back crazy, but they got to give the crowd something to get into early.
Okay, so on that note, you talk about the crowd over there in New York. McGee has a question for you, Q. Do you know Ryan McGee?
Yeah, Q.
I know who he is. I've seen him on ESPN a bunch.
And by the way, first of all, I appreciate you having that 2000 ESPN magazine back there. I'm pretty sure I have like a NASCAR story buried in like page 87.
That's what I'm talking about.
But hey,
that was my first cover, so that's very near and dear. It was pretty big time for me, a college kid and just a Chicago kid, and being on the cover of ESPN.
Hey, that was my first cover.
Hey,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I was on the conference call when we decided to do that. So you're welcome. I voted for you. So
I appreciate that because I definitely know it wasn't. I didn't know I was supposed to be the cover until it actually happened. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Way to go to bat for him. Thank you, McGee. Thank you, McGee.
But I wanted to the point you just made. I wanted to ask you about. I mean, you played in multiple cities. But what is it like, as a sports writer, we try to make a big deal out of playing in New York or playing in L.A. or playing for certain franchises, but what is it like, the pressure or not of playing at MSG and playing for the Knicks, and when the team's doing well and also when it's struggling? What is that actually like for y'all?
I think I was listening to Stephen A. the other day, and he made a good point that I hadn't really thought about because, like I said, I was there when I was playing for the Knicks when the Giants won and when the Yankees won, and like all we would hear was like, yeah, they was going crazy, but like, man, if the Knicks win, and it makes sense because what Stephen A. said is that when you think about the Giants, there's the Giants and the Jets. So no matter which side or how many more on each side, there's still a split, a divide. Same thing when you go to baseball, Yankees and the Mets. No matter who has more, it's still some type of split. It's only one basketball team. It's the New York Knicks. Yeah. And that is anybody that you ask about New York, no disrespect to Brooklyn, but they were New Jersey before they became Brooklyn. And New York Knicks are the team of New York. And I don't know if that'll ever change. And so when you put everybody, that's the collective of everybody, all the Giants fans, all the Jets fans, all the Islanders, you put all of them into one, and they all going for the Knicks. And so when you in that building and you feel that, you know it. You don't even when you outside the building, when you going to dinner, when you going to the movies, when you walk in the streets, these guys are everywhere, and they always are letting you know they are the most aware fans of anybody. They'll know the 13th man who don't even suit up. They will know who he is walking in the streets and have something to say. So like, you appreciate it to the point. I mean, especially me for like being removed from it because I play for 5-6 teams, and I could be anywhere on the planet, and there will be somebody that is a New York Knicks fan that will come up to me and say, yo, son, and not just say you was a Knick. They're going to give me a specific moment from a game or a time and let you know that they are for real. They're not just saying something. Like, that's the most impressive thing about Knicks fans worldwide. Forget about the United States. I've been out of the country, and somebody rolls up like, son, you played for the Knicks in 07. It's like, this is crazy.
They know ball, huh?
Are everywhere.
They know ball, is what you're saying. It sounds like you're saying, like, the Knicks fans know ball, and there's a lot of them. Now, whenever you talk about that many humans living in one area, there's obviously going to be more sports fans, you would assume. Feels like the Knicks are just like, even people that maybe aren't fans of other sports too in that city are like, no, we're Knicks fans. MSG is right in the middle of this entire thing. It's kind of like, it feels like, to your point, the Knicks are the thing that unifies everybody there. Jaylen Brunson's king of that city right now. Aaron Judge obviously is beloved over there, but he still got Juan Slow-Mo over there at the Mets too.
They're ready to run him out of town.
But Jaylen Brunson, I thought about Jaylen the other night because, you know, on the basketball court, he looks like he's undersized, not as tall or whatever. So I thought about him just walking through New York City one time with no security or whatever. It's like that would be right. He's the king of that place. And if you were to win as a Knick over there, you're literally king of city for the rest of your life, I assume, right?
At this point, Jaylen Brunson is good. He's a made man in New York for his lifetime. If he wins, he'll be like, he could probably own the city. If they get a championship, Jaylen Brunson could probably do anything under the sun. But like, even falling short of actually delivering an NBA championship, what he's been able to deliver to this team with his level of play and for who they thought they were getting and who he has become. And then he took a discount. He could have waited till next year to sign and hit him with the Supermax. He didn't do that. He signed a lower deal and allowed them to go out and use the money to get other people. Like, he's just done things that he's gonna go down in folklore. He'll be like I say, he's on pace to be the greatest Knick ever. If he wins the NBA championship, it won't even be a contest, but he still has a chance to achieve that title even if he doesn't win a championship. That's how crazy he's gone since he's arrived in New York.
What do you have in game one?
43.
41, 43. He's so good. He is so good, so fun to watch. And he had a three there late with somebody in his, like,
it's either Neesmith or Nemhard.
Yeah, I think it might have been, I forget who it was.
The floater over Obi Toppin.
Over Obi Toppin, insane.
Yeah.
Especially because Obi hits his head off the rim, basically. Obi's bounce is outrageous.
Effortless.
Fourth quarter OT, got to be tired. Fourth quarter OT, you've already been through it, let alone it's game 100. his hands at like the top of the backboard. Jaylen knows that, floats it over top of him. Unbelievable touch by Jaylen Brunson. Tyrese obviously does his thing. No big deal. But we just brought up Nesmith right there. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Q. Nesmith was obviously the number 2 for the Pacers in Game 1. We always know that Halliburton's going to be the facilitator and most likely going to take the shots in the clutch. But how nice is it for the Pacers and how hard is it for the Knicks that they never know like who the number 2 is going to be? Obviously, Siakam's out there, and skill-wise, he probably is the number 2, but like he's not always the number 2 scorer. So how nice is that for the Pacers, and how hard is that to defend for the Knicks?
I mean, that's one of the things that make the Pacers as good as they are, man. I mean, much like OKC, you know, like they're so deep and they got so many different players that could come in and they play such a selfless team style of basketball that you don't know. Even with Tyrese Halliburton being the number 1 guy, the all-star, the facilitator, he still doesn't always lead them in scoring and points. He's always going to probably lead them in scoring. I mean, passing the ball and facilitating and getting assists. But like you said, it could be Pascal one night. It might be Miles Turner, Nesmith. You got Nembhard. They got a lot of different guys.
TJ McConnell.
Look, TJ McConnell, a dog. He comes in and changes everything up. He's one of my favorite players off the bench because you need those type of guys. And then the other thing for me that I feel like doesn't get enough credit is Coach Rick Carlisle. Like, Coach Rick Carlisle is a championship coach, and he's been coaching at a championship level for a lot of years. And he's not a guy that, you know, makes a big fuss or a big personality, so he may not get the attention and the love that he deserves. But, I mean, the job that he's been able to do, like, man, they go 9, 10, 11 deep with guys that average over 15 minutes a game throughout the season and up to 30-something. So, like, that's a lot of players that you bringing in and out, and he's giving those guys a lot of confidence. And so the results that you seeing happening now, it's not just like he getting into the playoffs and started to do things. These guys have been playing all season long. They've been getting minutes here and there in different situations, and they ready for these moments because they've been in those opportunities and been in those situations, and he's giving them the confidence to come in and play well. And I think we're seeing the end result of that. This is a scary, scary Pacers team. I mean, I said this the other day, though, when we were on here. I said, don't be surprised or don't take the Pacers lightly. Yes, I picked the Knicks, but I'm not shocked that the Pacers, I was shocked at the way that game went down. Everybody was. I was shocked at the way it went down, but I wasn't shocked that they were able to get a game and they could actually win this series. I wasn't shocked by that.
0 in 1,414. That's a stat that is a matter-of-fact thing, not just a stat. 0.
I'm a former player. I watch games every single night. I'm not somebody who is easily moved. When what the hell he hit that shot, I leaped out of my seat and yelled, what the? I was like, oh, ran from outside of my house into the house. It was like, oh, I was asking my kids, it was crazy.
Yeah, you're heartbroken. Heartbroken. Media Knicks guy. Heartbroken about Tyrese Halliburton. And then having the wherewithal to hit the choke celly, obviously awesome. And then it's only a 2. Got to go to overtime. Thank God we won. Mm-hmm. I do have sources close to the situation that have said that Tyrese, immediately upon finding out that it was not a 3 and it was a 2, said, oh, no, that was a 2? Okay, we have to win. This is I have sources close to the situation that have said that. And I appreciate the fact that he acknowledged it and said, I might have wasted it. I might have wasted, I don't know. I think he got it out of the way. Yeah. I think he got it out of the way. Did what people were maybe expecting if a situation like that happens. Who knows if he ever falls into another situation like that in Madison Square Garden with Reggie Miller on the call and to get out of there with a win. Well done, Tyrese. Yeah. Just like everything else. All right,
he definitely didn't waste it. He made it. Listen, it would have been more iconic if it was a 3 and it was the end of it. Definitely. But the fact that he still got that off and the moment of it all and everything, nah, he didn't waste it all. Now, I agree with him. You can't keep doing it, but like that was legendary. That will go down, even though it didn't win the game. We're gonna see that replay and that whole everything. We're gonna see that for years to come. That was an iconic, legendary shot.
Tyrese 24 too. He's got a lot of sport left. I think there's a chance at some point something's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's going to be used against Tyrese.
No doubt.
Sure.
Yeah, Tyrese knows that. Tyrese knows that. Okay, last question about this series, and we'll let you go. Go ahead, Ty.
Q, obviously we know Brunson's going to get his and Cat and, Bridges and all those guys. But if the Knicks are to win tonight, who is the biggest X factor that they need to either, give more minutes or, score, have like a 20-plus point game? Like, which person that no one is really talking about needs to have a massive game tonight for the Knicks to win?
I don't know that nobody's talking about him, but to me, I feel like they, outside of Cat, Anthony Towns, and Brunson, the next two guys for me are always going to be OG Anunoby and then Mikal Bridges, because I feel like even when you talk about Brunson and Anthony Towns, Josh Hart is a constant to me, and his constant doesn't have to be points. He always shows up in every other way, whether he scores big or not. He's out there defending at a high level, rebounding, playing different guys, and doing different things. So he always shows up in his role. So to me, if OG can show up and be good, and then Mikal can too, that seriously heightens the Knicks' chances. But I mean, just what you said, like Cat Anthony Towns and Jaylen Brunson scored 70-some points combined. He had 40, Cat had 30. And to not get that W, that's a worry for me. Because if you tell me going into the game that Cat's going to double-double with 30 and Brunson's going to get you 40-plus, to me, that's a Knicks win. And if the Pacers withstood that and still got them a victory, to me, the Pacers should be oozing confidence going in there, trying to be greedy and saying we're gonna get two and bring them back to our home court and finish them off. So I mean, it's gonna be super interesting to see, man. But like I said, I'll be super interested to see how the Knicks really have recovered from that game, because that was a soul taker.
You talked about Josh Hart. I was trying to pull up the clip from the other night. He obviously had a swollen eye as if he had just got out of a boxing match because of what happened against Boston. Yeah, absolute dog. Absolute dog. That was in warm-ups. I saw the clip. So that Knicks team is awesome to watch, fun to watch. And good luck to you and your Knicks as the Pacers look to move to 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Richardson. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Rick.
Oh, wait. Q, wait.
Yeah, just want to make sure, Q-Rich, get out there and see Final Reckoning this weekend. It's great movie of the year.
Today is the day. I am already situated. I have my ticket. I'm going to one of the Cinemax joints where you got the IMAX. I could sit back, the seats go up. I could bring a blanket if I want to do the whole. Yeah, they got drinks for you and everything.
Boom.
They bring them.
There you go.
All right, you need to do that. Let us know how it goes. You're the best, ladies and gentlemen. Quentin Richardson. Talk about Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. There, McGee. Need to see it. I think the whole world is. It has it had the highest premiere ticket sales in the history of the franchise, Mission, as TC calls it. Yep. And this one's allegedly the most absurd of all of them.
No. Tom Cruise is 100% willing to die for our entertainment.
He will,
and I appreciate that. And that's a good point.
You might not be able to.
No, it's unbelievable. And the cool thing now is, like, my daughter's 20, and we're going back and watching. Like we went back and watch the first one, which was in like 1996.
Yeah,
30 years.
Yeah, it's 28 years ago yesterday.
Yeah,
it was the debut.
That's crazy.
Of Mission 1.
Yeah, and so going back and watching all of them, it's awesome. Man, you're ready to go. And plus, it's got Haley Atwell in it, who's Captain America's girlfriend, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so as we wrap up here, and we know you got to go because you got super important things.
Bullshit, McGee.
Last time you hung out the whole time through football. Now we will have no opportunity to have another athletic.
No. Just so you know, that was peak athletic achievement for me. I'm never doing that again. I'm smart enough to walk away. Right?
Smart.
I'm like the guy that wins the Masters and just says, all right, I'm out.
Smart.
Blocky.
Yep.
Smart. That will be Blocky. Yeah. Probably 2 blocks back. 2 blocks back. What's the course record? Yeah, 2 blocks back.
You get so uncomfortable. I love it.
Not uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're not uncomfortable.
It's disgusting.
Not a participant.
McGee, hold on. We only got 10 seconds, 20 seconds here. Who's going to win the Indy 500?
I think that Scott Dixon will finally get his second Indianapolis 500.
Okay. Who wins Coca-Cola 600?
I think that Chase Elliott will win the Coca-Cola.
Man,
who wins Knicks Pacers tonight?
I'm going to say the Knicks because I want to leave this building safe and secure.
Well, then
that'd be the
I'm sorry, the Pacers.
Enough. You've done enough. Thank you, McGee. Good luck this weekend.
The smoke got in my nose.
Yeah,
and I can't talk.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. We'll see you next hour. Arriving in beautiful fashion.
There he is.
On a golf cart driven by another massive human being, wearing a suit that is only top of the line. A man who walks around and hands out hundreds to people. A man that gives away more money than any other human you've ever encountered. A man who has paid for everything I've ever done. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Irsay.
My friends call me Jim. You can call me Jimmy.
Hey! Jimmy from the coast!
Lolita, I love my friend. And there's nothing like this 57-year-old female killer southern orca whale is special now. I'm frustrated with flying cars, because I'm obsessed with that. Like, I want a flying car.
Hey, me too.
I don't want this phone. Give me a flying car. You know? And I outbid them for Elton's piano. Need that? Sometimes guys will get liquored up and go swimming in the Broad Ripple Canal.
Whoa.
Traffic. So they direct traffic in their underwear. Now, Pink Floyd calls that a momentary lapse of reason. Lolita is mellow. She's a Buddhist. She hangs low. She's cool. She's happy. But like Mars, think about this, is 250 million miles. 250 million miles. When you go, it takes about anywhere from 9 to 11 months to get there, depending on the alignment.
Are you going to fucking Mars?
And so,
Jim, are you going to Mars? It sounds like you're...
I wish I
research.
was. They go, well, I have these beautiful Monet paintings, but I have John Lennon's piano in the front room. What do you want to see? I want to see John Lennon's piano. I don't know. I put on this Willy Wonka outfit about 12 years ago, and we had a treasure hunt in Indianapolis, and the winning team at halftime was given real Super Bowl rings. You have to get them one at a time. Try to help anything in any way you can, one at a time. I've shut down a lot of Girl Scouts. Hey, here's $2,000. We're going home, The only thing that beats everything is love. Love every time beats hate. Every time. If you come at hate with hate, it's not going to be good. You're going to get more hate.
I'm lucky to be a part of the Colts organization. Getting to know you has been a cool thing. Just know that I think, personally, as somebody who is a billionaire, you're doing good with your money. You're doing good with your time.
What could I say? This when you came to my office and told me your plan about retirement, I never thought we'd be sitting there and you'd be the mega star. Sorry for saying that, but it's true that you are. Your show and what you do and the entertainment you provide, is David Letterman type. It's at the very top. I always knew you had that potential, but man, what you've accomplished, we're so proud of you that you're a Colt alumni player. I mean, you represent.
I'm lucky. You helped me out a lot.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Memorial Day, Indy 500, Feel Good Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Outro of the program starts now. Sports are happening all around us, and obviously we're incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chit-chat about them every single day. This weekend, go ahead and take a little time to think about the badasses that laid it on the line for this country so we can enjoy all the things that'll be enjoyed this weekend. Obviously, most people have a nice 3-day weekend, so go ahead and enjoy your cookouts, your barbecues, your lake time, your family time, your hot dogs, your burgers, your ice-cold beers.
Wait.
Maybe a little bit of whiskey.
Wait.
We got this whiskey. It's so good. It's better than Jack Daniels. You've never heard of it. Well, if it was better than Jack Daniels, I would have fucking heard of it.
Take this potato.
I would take Jack. I'm not fighting anybody for that.
Okay.
But I would take a Jack and Diet, please. Okay, tall glass, single shot. I don't mind the taste of Diet. I like the way the Jack kind of sizzles in there a little bit. We got this other whiskey that is so good. Don't care. I know what Jack's bringing to the table. Mm-hmm. But don't you think you should try the Give me the Jack.
That's right.
And we will roll into a phenomenal afternoon of watching sports, both the conference finals for hockey and the conference finals for the NBA. And I think there's even baseball happening.
Oh, yeah. Loads of baseball this week. Memorial Day is kind of like to the layman, it's like the start of the baseball season because now the weather's starting to get nice. So it's like, hey, summer's here. Here we go. We got a lot of baseball.
I see you with your Red Sox jersey on and you with a Yankees hoodie on. Oh, my God. Baseball season's starting this weekend.
Yeah.
That means Paul Skeen's record should be 0-0. From this point going forward.
It should be like 8-0.
Season's over, actually.
They actually just asked the GM, like, hey, you guys going to trade him? He's like, no, absolutely not. We're not going to trade him. So
when they do that,
that came out today. So I think they asked him maybe last night or something like that. But no, it looks like Paul Skeen's going to be in Pittsburgh for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So Pirates fans, which there are some diehards like that, will just blindly follow the Pirates and blindly hope for better in the future. And I'm going to say we were potentially some of them there for a couple of times, but there's people that do it full time. You know, there's full time, those people. They're not going to like us saying this. But as a friend of Paul Skeen's, and you heard the arena at Big Night Out, get him to a place where he deserves to win.
Yeah, Boston.
Get him to a place where he can play in front of people. He's pitching tonight. Who are they playing?
He's got another. He's facing a good
team they're going to lose to.
No, they're playing against Milwaukee. Is it in Pittsburgh or is it in Milwaukee?
In Pittsburgh.
Okay, so it's a Friday night. Start of Memorial Day weekend.
Get out to the stadium.
It's a pitcher.
Skeens is on the bump.
It's a
Let's
pitcher's
go.
duel. Peralta can spin it too. It'll be a good game.
Okay, so let's get out to the park. So baseball's starting this weekend. Pirates are about to hit, look out, 8 home runs.
8?
Well, if they score more than 4 runs, that'd be the first time they've done that in 26 games. Which
I believe
is
they
an
did.
MLB record.
I believe they did yesterday.
No, they did.
Yeah, the wood's hot, brother. The season
I thought it was
is
4-2.
beginning. So you got baseball, you got hockey, you got basketball, you got golf. The blocks are back.
Block is back, baby. Look out for Blocky this weekend. He's coming for blood.
He's above. He's currently doing better than how many people?
I don't know. Basically everybody, I'd say.
Yeah,
he's T13 right now.
I saw Scotty Scheffler was 2 over through 6 today. So if he's 2 over through 6, I don't know what Blocky's going to be 14 over through 6 today. Maybe?
No,
because
this weekend.
with his son on the bag, younger block and big block, they're saying 2 blocks back, 2 blocks back. What's the course record, Ty? 2 blocks back.
Were they saying that at the PGA too? Because his son was on the bag and he missed the cut. Shot an 85.
Well, the crowds weren't big enough.
That was different. He had a good time. Okay, I've heard through the grapevine that Blocky was enjoying himself a little bit.
Oh, he's having maybe a Jack and maybe Jack and Dad. He was excited to be there, pumped to be there, celebrating his boy.
That's why he'll never win.
No,
he's excited to be there. Go fucking win a tournament then.
Well, he's trying this weekend.
Yeah, he chooses when he tries.
He's Blocky. One half of the hammer. Dahn.
You guys suck.
What?
Yeah, you guys suck. Knock it off.
Who's you guys?
You two. You guys right here.
Sorry we like American Dreams, brother, because that's who Blocky is.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend, brother.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you have a little celebration about a guy who never thought he'd be on this stage? All he'd been doing is like tin cup, working at the range, working at his course, giving out lessons, trying to create better golfers, people that love the sport.
Sure.
As a PGA professional in California.
Allegedly, TC wants to do a Blocky movie.
Stop. That's where I draw the line. And
No,
I think
that's real.
Nope, stop it. No one loves Blocky more than Blocky does.
Are you talking about Blocky?
Yeah,
more than his family does because he's a good
I'm glad you
pal.
brought up this weekend. He does kind of seem like allegedly a stolen valor type of guy.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
No, he would never. That is unbelievable. That's one half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys.
Yeah, I've been on the
Yankee
tour for, 10, 15 years.
This is all because the one thing he said. And we must remember where and how he said what he said.
Amen.
He, after hitting a couple hole-in-ones and having a great performance.
A couple, you say?
Yeah, he had 2 hole-in-ones, I think.
I think it was 1.
No,
I don't think.
In my mind,
I don't think he had 2 hole-in-ones
Yeah,
at the PGA.
He had 2.
He had 1 on Sunday, playing with Rory.
Okay.
In Rory's grill.
And that's not enough for you to have respect for him. Then he goes and does an interview, and I think context was potentially lost. And he said something along the lines of, if I could drive the ball like Rory, I'd be the best player in the world.
Yes.
Which is true.
I don't know. Scotty Scheffler's pretty good close. So I think what he was saying is, if you get me within 100, that's where I'm at. I just can't drive the ball as far as these guys can. So I'm starting way back. So it's different irons than whenever, what I'm in my bread basket. I play from those blue tees. I can get it to where we need to be. You put me at the tips, I ain't gotta. He said he plays with his boy who can drive the shit out of the ball.
Yeah.
And whenever they have a scramble, he's unbelievable. Everybody immediately after he said that said, "Oh, we hate this guy."
Yeah.
And turned on him. I would like to let Blocky know I didn't turn. Neither did Connor.
I did for a little, but not anymore.
His remaining, few turned on him when he said last week, I played like shit because the crowds weren't big enough.
Yeah.
Well, and that's Blocky, baby.
That's a dickhead thing to say.
No,
it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No,
hey, you know why
not.
there's no crowds around you? Because you just got a quintuple bogey on the last hole, and Scotty is gonna win a major. That's why no one gives a
This
fuck
guy
what you're
isn't
doing
a
on the
professional golfer full time. This guy is just,
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't want to fucking watch him. I'll go to my local Muni and watch the pro there shoot a 74. And guess what? After the round, he's not gonna flip his ball cap on backwards and do a selfie video. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Blocky.
He's never done that. He's never done that. He's never done that. And guess what? Your local Muni's never done what Blocky's done.
either hole in one Sunday
In Rory
PGA
Grill.
Jam.
This is why sports are the best.
This is why sports are the best. Because Blocky.
And you're laughing because you got the video right in front of you. Fucking pot it up. Put it up.
Blocky.
Yeah. No thanks.
They asked him to do that once again, just like the interview about him hitting it far. He's getting put in these bad positions.
This guy isn't a professional media person. He's trying to teach golf, not talk about it. And then he put him
And
in a
why
spot.
do I always see him in front of a camera, giving a quote, having something to say?
It's not his fault. Everybody wants to be on the block.
Everybody wants a piece of the block.
Yeah.
He's a chip off the old block, Blocky.
Everyone wants to go to the
wants
block
it.
party.
Joining us now, golf expert, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk girl.
AJ, we didn't fully comprehend the way Ty felt about Blocky, I don't think, until, very recently here. And I met Blocky. He was nice to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a nice guy.
He was the man to you guys.
Nobody said he wasn't a nice
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a nice guy.
Didn't he teach you? You got to come through.
Yeah, he did give me a little out of the
run that
pocket.
slot, get in the slot.
Yeah.
Bang, like you're chopping wood.
Is Ty upset though because Michael Jordan told Blocky that he is an inspiration to him? Is that why Ty's so upset about it?
Probably. If I know Ty, yeah, that's probably it.
I mean, that'd make me feel pretty good.
Hey, Blocky, why don't you go win this tournament?
Yeah.
Why don't you go? What are you eating popcorn for?
It's so good still. It's a couple days old, but it's delicious. How many whiskey sours did Jordan have before he said that?
One or two.
Must have meant it.
Did Jordan Love reach out to Blocky?
Oh, no, I saw Blocky golf from Khaled, DJ Khaled. He was out there doing it. He was good for golf. He was good for sports.
I agree.
I'd like to thank Blocky.
That first round was awesome.
We're going to see Blocky running with that kid soon, like Khaled was, that guy.
Hey, did we expect Khaled to be able to get the knee drive that he got? I was not.
Khaled's got good feet. Like, he legit has good feet, man. Like, he's an athlete. I really think that.
All right.
I followed him training one summer. He was trying to get better there for a little bit. And he is able to move. I didn't expect he was going to be able to stride.
Oh, yeah.
That's so much on so many.
He tore his Achilles. Did you see the update?
No, he did not.
Yeah, he blew his shit.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled, he was right back to probably writing music, making music, streaming things. Nonetheless, congrats, Blocky. Good luck.
Hey, good luck, Blocky.
Yeah, for real.
Well, Ty doesn't think that at all. Okay, so Pacers, Knicks tonight, Oilers, Stars tonight. Let's hope they are both better games than what we had last night. Florida Panthers blow out the Carolina Hurricanes in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the Oklahoma City Thunder blow out the Minnesota Timberwolves in Oklahoma City. Those two look like those are potential sweeps now. Minnesota at home could be a whole different game. But watching these teams play against each other the last two times, it's been a pretty one-sided affair.
Yeah.
And it feels like with this Oklahoma City team, they've turned it on. I don't know about turning it on, but maybe they figured out something else. They're only getting better. They're getting stronger somehow. He wins the MVP, buys the entire team Rolexes.
Cool.
So I think they're only getting tighter. It's like, that's what you want out of a championship team. That's what you see championship teams do. In this type of camaraderie, I think is the tightness of the group can lead you to the championship. I think personally, AJ. When I saw the Rolex thing and the way they were acting off the court, it's like, oh yeah, they're seemingly best friends out there as well, Age.
Yeah, and don't you think being in Oklahoma City kind of helps that team? Like, when they show like these sweeping drone shots of OKC outside the arena, and it reminds me of like not Green Bay, but kind of the Green Bay feel. Like, hey, this isn't like an arena stuck in some big city in the middle of a downtown. Like, it looks like, and then you see here and you watch the game and you see the atmosphere and you hear Coach Malone say like, hey, it's the best atmosphere in the NBA right now. Like, it's a special thing they got going on right now.
Yeah, special community feel, you're saying. Like, hey, it's community feel. And this is not a knock on Oklahoma City, but in those other towns, there's a lot more possible distractions. You know, but also whenever you're in a town like this, like I think the Bills players talk about it, once winter comes and the snows plays, there's not like a lot to do. So they hang out at the facility a lot. Like guys hang around at the facility, they hang around each other. Somebody's house will be a host of a thing built. Like that can help a team really bond. Feels like this team has. And on the court, they beat they're so good on both ends.
Yeah.
And I think that camaraderie helps on the defensive side too. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, we're in this thing together. Like this is literally us versus the entire world. And OKC feels. How about the pop Perk got last night?
Yeah, pretty unreal.
Did you see that?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, Chris Paul was back in the building. You know, I feel like there's a lot of they probably love the guys that do great things for the Thunder out there in OKC. In Oklahoma City, and the fact that Perk got that standing O, I was so happy for him. I was like, that had to feel so good for Perk, you know, whenever because on TV, he says things, and then he takes a lot of heat from a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That basketball world, you can say some things that can put you into some real heat. You really offend people by not saying that much, but still knowing that you're going to. So he's in the fire, always. So it had to feel good to walk into an arena and be like, because I assume there was a part where like, how will this reaction be? You know, everybody thinks that.
Oh, yeah.
And then whenever it goes big for him, I hope he enjoyed that. That's real.
Well, don't you think Oklahoma City, I feel like you said, that community feel, and I don't know what it was about those outside drone shots. I come back to it. It all clicked. Like, yeah, there's a reason that these guys, the whole Rolex video and everything, it just feels like an old school family type feeling that this Oklahoma City team has right now that they hopefully, for them, they want to keep this going for the next 10, 12 years.
Yeah, bottle that, brother. It's going to be tough. You know, this is like a college type feel is how everybody describes it. Both the fans in the arena, the loyalty to the team, I assume a lot of people in Oklahoma City have, and then the players, the way they gel and meld and hang out is a college way. Good for them. Mm-hmm. They're going to have a tough out, whoever comes out of the East, if they make it past Minnesota at home. Pacers Knicks tonight should be electrifying. Okay, let's do a couple NFL things before we are joined by a man who knows everything about everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's told us that.
Could he beat Blocky in a match?
That would certainly be a question.
No, God's not joining us, AJ.
Hard Knocks.
You're right.
Amen, Connor. Amen. Hard Knocks training camp, Buffalo Bills. Okay. Going to be great.
Nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In season, NFC East. Okay.
There we go.
Going to be great.
Yeah. Yep.
The offseason Hard Knocks officially dead.
Yeah.
The Giants were a one and done there, and every other team was like, I don't think so. That is not how this is going to go. We thought it was a spectacular Hard Knocks. We thought it was something different than we've ever seen before. We thought it was Hard Knocks reinventing the game. We also thought, wow, how are you going to get anybody else to say yes to this after how everybody viewed Joe Shane, Dayball, in the entire Giants operation? So I think that one's probably done for. Had a hell of a run, though.
Yeah.
Great run.
season.
Had a hell of a run.
One of the best in the recent memory.
I don't know if it won any awards.
Should have.
It could have, for real.
It's going to win like those opposite awards.
Well, the
Razzies?
Yeah.
Why? I thought it was.
No,
the
it was
Razzies
good.
are for crop.
Yeah. So I think it's like they'll give the people in it like biggest fool.
Oh, you think Joe Shane will be up for worst decision on film?
Bingo.
Okay, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Once again, in sports, you don't know what the future holds. No. Mm-hmm. So you're picking things off of how you feel, but they showcased all of it, and boy, we loved it. I don't know if they did. That's a tough one to shake. Giants could be better this year. Remember, much improved.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just because they didn't have to do the Hard Knocks offseason. That's how we know they are better, because we knew everything they were doing before, and it all backfired on them. Yeah.
And he's still going to get kind of a get-back opportunity because they're on the in-season one. So I'm sure like he's still going to pop up in there. Who knows what's going to happen.
We need Mara talking about his sleep schedule.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate that they're doing the NFC East, because every time we've had Keith Costro on since they started doing the in-season one, the idea is like hey, we're gonna follow this team until their season ends, and none of those teams have made the playoffs. But they have two teams in this division, one who obviously won the Super Bowl, and then you got another team that went to the NFC Championship. So it actually would be sweet if we get one of these teams and get to follow them through the playoffs finally in season, whereas we haven't had that opportunity in the past.
Sirianni.
Yeah.
Shoddy.
Yep.
Dan Quinn. Dayball.
Pretty good.
Jerry Jones.
Mara,
Howie,
Magic,
Magic,
Magic.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of characters in this. Let alone Saquon, reigning greatest running back of all time if you go yards in full season, just a full difference maker. Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury up in Washington.
Jaden's mother.
Yeah, Jaden's mom, who is obviously talked about every single time she is anywhere. Oh, what's she? Boom.
Be cool to see
She
Dak.
stopped by our show down there at Radio Row.
Yep.
Yeah.
And said, invite me on the show sometime. I'll tell you everything. Have we invited her on the show? Consider us an open invite.
Yeah, there you go.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is senior insider at NFL Network, friend of the program, and host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends. Us being friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapoport. How you doing, Matt? How's the golf round? Looks like you're fresh off the course. That must have ended pretty recently.
Yeah, not that course. Played my local course. So it's funny. I played a lot better today. Shot 89. Felt really good about that.
Okay. Broke 90.
He broke 90. Swings rounding into form. But how about this? So you remember last time we were talking about golf? And I was talking about how my drives were doing this, like going all the way the wrong direction. And I get a very forceful text from an NFL general manager who is a fan of the show. And it was a very simple text. It was, play the slice. And so I try to listen to people who are smarter than me. I started aiming. Forget about the fixing the swing. Just play the slice. I'm aiming this way. I'm hitting it this way. Playing a lot better.
Okay. I'm happy whoever the general manager is thinks the exact same way as I assume everybody that's ever talked to you about this that has a brain. Because you somehow think you're going to become Blocky with your swing.
No chance.
You somehow
Nobody
think
can do that.
Nobody can do that. And why not just enjoy golf as opposed to thinking you're going to make some radical change to what your game is? As someday in your life, there'll come a time where you'll come out of the winter and you'll hit that and somehow it'll go straight or it'll draw even. And you'll be like, what the hell happened? Until that day.
When will that be?
Next week.
It could be any time. I used to be a massive slicer, and then I came in and I started pulling it. And I'm like, I don't know how to fix that. And then that becomes a mental game of, well, now I'm aiming right. I don't think so. I don't think this is the right play. So you just got to play it, whatever it is that day. Yeah. And breaking 90 is good, especially when you're walking. Congratulations.
Baby Rap Sheet.
Appreciate it.
That post you put up, you said, you won't know if I play good or not on this day. What does that mean? You play like ass, the swing looks good is what your thoughts are?
The swing looks amazing. I mean, the setting looks great. The colors, form is great. So that's the most important thing.
You played
Shinnecock was a great course.
You played like ass, though, yeah.
I mean, it's a very hard course. I'll tell you, I shot 95 on a very tough course. So I came out being like, all right.
How many balls?
2.
US Open was that right, or was it PGA?
2.
I don't think
one in the water, but 2.
I don't think I've ever played around. Maybe that one off season I was pretty good at golf, but every other time I've ever played golf, I don't think I've ever done a less than 2-ball round.
No chance.
Never.
Ever.
No chance.
Some people.
Today was a 2. Today was a 2.
Some people. I don't know about Rap Sheet. Some people can't hit it far enough to get out of bounds or get into trouble, though.
We wouldn't say that about you, Rap Sheet, but there is a
Not
chance.
you. But I play with people like that.
You know, especially with your big loop and slice, there has to be some sort of power on it, right? Has to have some sort of power to be able to do that.
I hit it far.
Yeah, 185 right down there in the middle of the fairway. Before the fairway, maybe even.
Yeah, second cut.
Yeah, so
lay up of the fairway.
Yeah, so then you can lay it up on there. Yeah, I
From
understand.
the white tee.
Hey, you do what you got to do. All right, let's talk about some of the football stuff that has happened this week. You can give us a little bit more intel on what has taken place. Tush push doesn't happen because Lori and Jason Kelsey go in there and lobby them for an hour, and they say, Jesus, we're going to have to hear from these guys forever if we ban the tush push. Also, follow up. the way it was being worded, it wasn't just tush-push plays that were potentially going to be banned. There was also some potential downfield plays where offensive linemen pick up running backs and move them 3-4 yards down the field for a first down. That would also have been included in the way the rule was worded this particular vote. And how much did that come into play in people saying we're not banning any of this?
So you're right. It would have been pushing or pulling really any player at any time, which – you don't see a lot, but there are times when a running back is sort of stalled and you see a lineman pick him up or drive him forward. And to me, and not that my opinion really honestly matters, but that always seems a little dangerous. And I think the NFL Health and Safety Committee felt that was dangerous. The Competition Committee felt it was dangerous. And there was a lot of momentum toward basically ending this play, just not enough. I mean, it was 22-10. And it is an unbelievably high bar. And that's what Rich McKay said right after the vote. It's like, it doesn't need to be unanimous, but almost, right? So, it should be a high bar. It should be overwhelming if you're going to take a play off the field. And it just wasn't. Now, if you go out this year and something bad happens to someone on this play, my guess would be that turns pretty quickly. I do get the sense that we are not done talking about this, that, next owners meeting, this will probably come up again, and we'll see if anyone has been swayed based on what happens on the field this year. But it was they're already printing the T-shirts. It was a victory lap for the Eagles. Kelsey wins. Jeffrey Lurie wins. We'll just see. Look at that. That was within seconds of the vote not passing. You're going to be seeing that in a couple of Kelly Green shirts in the near future.
And you did know how deep the photo really is, right? Who they're playing there?
I did notice, yes. How about the fact that it was 22-10, which was the same score in the playoffs? Is that ridiculous?
Yeah, it's all awesome. Everything's scripted. Everything's scripted.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You can literally...
I don't believe that, but for people who think that...
There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons to think that, the amount of stuff that works out. But on that note, Connor brought up a couple of days ago, and then it kind of sparked my memory. So... if everybody gets as good as the Philadelphia Eagles are at the tush push, that's when they'll change it. Because remember, it wasn't until every kicker was good that they decided to change the extra point. Because there was 5-6 good kickers, and then everybody else was kind of meh, and once in a while you'd miss an extra point. Then everybody got too good at their profession, and every extra point was good no matter what. The guys could walk out opposite-footed, and they'll make it, and it became a boring play. The sport can't become 1st and 9 is probably something that'll happen if everybody gets as good as the Eagles. I'm not saying that's possible. I'm just saying if everybody gets good, that's, I think, what will potentially spark change. Or do you see it sooner?
Well, if there is some sort of, you never want this to happen, but if there's some sort of injury situation, I think we'll see it sooner. What's been fascinating to me, and I think the football people, guys like AJ would probably know more about this than me, obviously, but it's been a struggle for every other team, and I don't quite understand. Not everyone has Kelsey, or Cam Jurgens is really, really good also, but a bunch of other teams have tried and has been not nearly as successful. Bills are the only other team that sort of has figured out how to do it. If every team could do it, it'll lead to more first downs, more points. The NFL's never been against that. I think it's more one, it doesn't look like football. Two, if there's an injury, that's probably when it'll be changed.
Jason Kelsey said if I was to go back and they asked me to do the tush push 80 times, I would do it. He said that on the New Heights podcast. And there's a chance that at some point in the season, if it's a real, maybe a little windy game, Jalen's not able to connect with anybody, let's just do it.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's just roll. Let's just see how many we can get. Yeah, because I think they can body everybody. And it's a great offensive line. It's a powerful running back. It's a powerful quarterback. It's a powerful tight end. I appreciate the fact that they're no, we're just better than you guys at this, and you're not as strong as us or as tough as us. That's on you. That's not on us.
Yeah.
Didn't Mahomes
That's perfect for Philadelphia, too, by the way. Go ahead.
Didn't Mahomes already, isn't that when he dislocated his kneecap when they tried to do the tush push, or is that just a QB sneak? Because, they have Noah Gray doing it.
Yeah, so I always forget if it was a QB sneak or a tush push, because people are confusing QB sneaks with tush pushers as well. I heard somebody say, Tom Brady always did the tush push. He got over 1,000 yards. No, Tom Brady did a quarterback sneak, you see. The tush push involves the tush, you see, being pushed, which is the weight on the back, which is more weight than one human can take, is what you would think in the argument. Good luck to all parties. Congrats to Philadelphia. They should be taking a victory lap. Speaking of victory laps, will our guy ever get to do that? Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Rap, she feels like the last storyline about players that aren't happy is with Trey Hendrickson, and we've talked about it. He's been slighted by the Bengals 14, 15 times, and now he seems to be at his wit's end. Is anything going to happen with Trey? Is he going to get traded, or do you see him kind of getting screwed here playing his last season and then having to try and get a new deal somewhere else next year in free agency?
So I would be surprised as of right now if he got traded, mainly because, like, let's say the Bengals held out for a premium draft pick. We're talking like first rounder, right? Which for someone as talented as Trey Hendrickson, that would make a lot of sense. Problem is, value-wise, not every team wants to give a first rounder and then a huge new contract to someone who's 30 years old, just philosophically, right? Like, I remember when Bill Belichick was coaching the Patriots, you guys know, before North Carolina, he was the greatest coach of all time with the Patriots. I don't think he ever traded for a player and then gave him a new contract. Could be wrong, but I don't think he ever did. Like, some people philosophically don't believe in that. So if you're going to do that now, even if you found let's say you found a first rounder, you're not going to use it till next year. So that hurts the Bengals this year, because if it had happened before the draft, you could have just gotten a player to help you this year. So, like, the timing makes a trade extremely hard. I still believe the Bengals are going to pay him. I don't know that going to the press helps. Like, the way the Bengals are, they might have been like, all right, like, you want to do that? Do your thing. We'll do it when we're ready. But I still think he is a huge part of the organization. They want him to stay, and I believe they will pay him.
Yeah, I don't think he was worried about the Bengals liking him going to the press, brother. I don't think it was about the Bengals. I think it was about every other team knowing, like, hey, there has been no update.
Do you think that's why he went?
I don't know. I've not talked to him directly, but he's not going to the media to appease the Bengals.
They went first.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, she already has done enough.
That's true. That's right.
He should be lucky with the offer that he's been given, even though he's a sack king, is how he took her message. I'm not saying that's exactly how it went. So I don't think he was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go talk to the media to try to make the Cincinnati Bengals happy here today. I think he was telling the Cincinnati media his side of the story. He was telling the Cincinnati Bengals fans his side of the story, what's going on. And I think he was telling the other teams, like, hey, this is still what's going on here or whatever, you know? I don't think that was necessarily to get a deal done for the Bengals, because I think he's at the point of, like, this should have been done. There's been no conversation. So we're pulling for Trey, and if Cincinnati keeps the sack king, good for you guys. They're able to pay everybody somehow. You know what I mean? Let's keep with the quarterback rushing folk. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, Rap Sheet, Aidan Hutchinson says that he is fully cleared and healthy for play. Does that, like, as far as the timeline they thought, is he ahead of schedule? And it's only, May 23rd? I would assume that they're happy with that. How do you think his training camp schedule is going to work out?
So, first of all, timing-wise, was that yesterday? That was yesterday when he talked to reporters,
yes.
Right? Okay. Right. So he did that yesterday. That was the first time he's talked in a while. I believe he was cleared several weeks before that. At least when I kind of checked in, like, he had been cleared. This was more him announcing, but timing is good. I believe contract-wise, and he's another one that, you know, the Lions have taken care of their superstars early with massive contracts. I mean, they have really done a nice job of getting deals where guys can be really happy about it, but helping themselves by doing them really early. Like Penei Sewell was obviously a big one. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, there's been several of them. Now that he is fully cleared, and let's say he goes out in OTAs and looks normal, which is what I expect because he's awesome, I believe that he's another one who will get, you know, paid a huge deal. You know, will it beat Myles Garrett? I don't know, but he will be among the highest paid edge rushers in the NFL, as he probably should be. I mean, Myles Garrett is amazing and deserves everything, but there is a little bit of space there between Hunter and Crosby and Myles Garrett. We'll see where he ends up on that list, but I believe being cleared will pave the way to a new deal.
And then you have to wonder, what's T.J. Watt doing?
Oh. Yeah.
And then Trey Hendrickson, obviously, way down there. A lot of people have gotten paid this offseason. They deserve it. That's how the game is being played. You need 4 dogs up front on the D-line, and you need a great offensive line to combat that. I think they know their value at this particular time, as they should. Good luck to all parties. Let's stick with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got to deal with TJ Watt. And who's on their team? Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, that's a good question. Art Rooney II just came out and said the team will wait a little longer for Aaron Rodgers. He said that a few times this offseason. When do you think we can expect that decision? Where do you think that's going? I'm guessing somewhere around June 15th, 16th, which is about 3 days after their mandatory minicamp.
So first of all, I think the Steelers are handling it the right way. You never know, because this is really unique. Because if they made a deadline for Rodgers, would that matter? So I kind of like how they've been do your thing, come to us when you want. Any quarterback acquisition, they could sort of make it any time, right? So they're doing the right thing with how they've handled it, and you guys may be closer to him than I am. I think that's somewhat fair to say, but I'm sure he appreciates receiving that time to just go through what he is going through right now. If I had to guess, and this is not reporting, this is really just guessing, players a lot of times like to have things done before mandatory minicamp so they can have the playbook. I mean, they could give them the playbook anyway, but if there is a deadline, a softish deadline, right before minicamp would make sense, so he could go there, get the playbook, maybe do media, maybe not, practice for a day. You know what mandatory minicamp is like, not much. Go away for the summer, and then just learn. So, timing-wise, look, who knows? It could be before training camp, right? But that makes sense to me as far as when this might happen.
I think mandatory minicamp would certainly be a great goal if you were the media that wanted to talk about mandatory minicamps, or the Pittsburgh Steelers who wanted to add a little sauce to a mandatory minicamp. I assume if you're just dropping out of the clouds right before mandatory minicamp, you're probably not going to practice, if I had to guess. But at least being on the field, looking around, seeing the building, meeting your teammates could be an upside. But also, you're going to get all that at training camp, and you're 41 years old. So I legitimately don't know which way this goes. AJ's probably the only one that really knows. AJ, what are your thoughts?
I wish I knew, man. I don't have, like I said earlier, I don't have any clarity on this. I don't know what his plan might be.
Liar. Steelers minicamp starts Tuesday, June 10th. Then it goes through June 12th. All eyes are obviously on the Steelers quarterback room, who's currently led by Mason Rudolph and also 6'14".
Yep.
Will Howard.
Yeah.
Will Howard, national champion, obviously in that building as well. We'll be excited to see how they handle, because every year they win. If that quarterback position can produce at a high level, and Artie's offense can do something to keep up with how great the defense we know is going to be, do they have TJ Watt or not? We assume they do.
Maybe.
It's why not the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially in the tough AFC North? They like the dogfight. It's hot in the kitchen. Are you in the kitchen or not with a quarterback, Tone Diggs?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be fine either way. With Aaron would be a lot better offensively, obviously. They probably start 6-0 if I had to take a guess.
That's a weird number.
Huh?
What do you say? 6? What, that was a weird
number. That was random.
No, it wasn't. There was a Emmy Award-winning NFL pundit analyst who said they would start 0-6. So, what?
Shrakes?
No, Shrakes would never say something that stupid.
Who was it?
I don't want to say his name. I don't want to give him any putting his name out in public. He doesn't even deserve that.
Because you think he'd respond with an emoji
Yeah, he'd probably text Ty and cry about it or something. But.
That's not how it works. Not with Dano. There are others.
Whoa. I thought we were...
Did you know it was him?
I thought we were not naming names. I thought we were all on the same page.
Well, I did it just because I feel obligated to let everybody in on what we're talking about. Sure. This is his talk show, and I didn't know if you knew. Did you know it was Dan Orlovsky that said that? That's who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's Dan.
I only knew when you mentioned the emoji, because that does sound like that response. The other, I didn't know the 0-6, the emoji, that actually makes sense.
Well, Dan will watch this entire thing and go, what gives? Bruh. Yeah. That is literally what he would say. That is the exact words. But he knows that whenever he says things like that about the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Pittsburgh people are going to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to. And I think he likes it because he goes back to his old UConn days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, University of Pittsburgh.
What the fudge, man?
Yeah, he's not scared to step in the batter's box. He's just talking about, he said all the other quarterback positions are much better than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, worst quarterback room in the entire league.
Well, okay, but like, hold on.
Can you argue with them?
No, I'm just no. I'm not even addressing that. Here's what I will say about the Steelers, though.
Not even
They've had like
jeez,
mediocre quarterback play the last couple. I mean, last year by the end it was not good, and they still make the playoffs. So like, God forbid, Rodgers is like a notch above mediocre, which I expect him to be. Plenty notches above, like they should be good.
Yeah, plenty of notches above mediocre. Aaron Rodgers.
They should be good.
Mason Rudolph played good ball for the Titans last year, man.
Mason Rudolph had his name chanted throughout the streets of Pittsburgh for a few. I think they haven't had like stellar quarterback play since Duck Hodges.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that was probably the last.
True.
And then Duck moved on to bigger and better things.
Certainly did. I think he's doing a little real estate development. He's certainly Duck on. He's down there in the blind. I watched Migration the other day.
Oh, good movie.
It is a good movie. I just think to myself, you guys need to get smarter.
I don't like the Father Bird.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Father Bird's got a little bit too much. But what I'm saying is they need to get smarter as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I see these dudes down in the swamp, and they just a couple times, and
yeah,
they just come waltzing right in.
Bye-bye.
They have no awareness at all. Anytime I've ever seen somebody go duck hunting, they've killed 1,000 of them. Have you ever seen a photo without 100 of them?
No.
Like one duck. You've never seen just.
No.
Only got one today.
No, there's always about,
It seems unfair.
What? That we outsmart the ducks is what the duck hunters would say. And
That's
also,
their purpose.
Duck is a, yeah, it's tough. Duck is a world champion duck caller, too.
He is.
So they're in their flock up there flying V. They're doing a thing. And they think they're hearing one of them because he knows who's coming and knows their dialect. He knows their region.
Yep.
Tim McAfee this morning heard Ryan McGee's accent. And I said, Tim, where do you think Ryan McGee's from? And he goes, talk again. And he talks, well, I think Bojangles. And he didn't say Bojangles, obviously. Tim would have known that. But Tim goes, probably North Carolina. And I'm thinking Eastern North Carolina as well. And he was spot on.
Yeah. Wallaby, you nailed it.
And then Ryan McGee said he was within 40 miles of where my house is. That's what Duck Hodges is able to do with these ducks. No matter where these ducks are from, he's able to match their accent. And they come down, they think they got one of them down there. And that's what Duck Hodges is doing.
Speaking of birds, how you done?
Canadian geese have been eliminated from the yard.
And the planet.
No, they're still around, and they will terrorize you like they were doing in my house there for a while.
But you do.
Tim McAfee brought, when they say, what's the loudest, most annoying sound on planet Earth?
Yep.
Tim McAfee found that on the internet and put it right next to my bedroom window and had that thing run at full blast the entire night. And it turns out the Canadian geese hate the sound. You know who else does? Humans. Me specifically.
Okay.
Being the human.
Makes sense.
Wife currently has to sleep on couch because she's going through recovery from a surgery. And she's doing better. She's appreciative that everybody's sending their love. She's going to be good for race day, I think, which was the goal, the plan here all along on Sunday. So I'm sleeping in bedroom, off living room there by myself. And 2 a.m., lo and behold, Tim McAfee's siren going off. Screaming into my house. So I come in here in the morning and I go, Tim, did you put that directly outside my window? And he goes, oh, I guess I did, didn't I? Yeah, I didn't think about it. So Tim's good for some things. He can name an accent. Tim's good for other things. He'll get the job done. There's not going to be a lot of thought past the job, though.
Sure.
Sounds terrible.
Guy built a deck out here and then built a gazebo on top of it in like 10 days or something like that. The guy's a weapon, but the Canadian geese hate that sound more than me, I think.
Okay.
So it works.
They've been gone. Also, I've been laser pointing.
Yeah, you got the beam, right?
I got a laser pointer too. They don't like
that works too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only issue we've ever had was we had a woodpecker at the house, like on our chimney, and then the house next door. So my wife, who's from Mississippi and knows such things, got a slingshot.
Oh.
And now didn't hit the bird because that would be bad, but close to the bird. And you do it enough times, again, not hitting the bird, but close to it. Eventually, they stop coming by, but now we just weirdly have a slingshot in our house. And
no, you definitely have to hit it. You know that. So do I. Because if you go by it, that woodpecker is very stubborn. I also had a woodpecker issue at my house out here in Indiana, and this dumb son of a bitch, glass.
Yep.
This thing with glass just never. He's like, you're supposed to be on wood, brother. This glass is not the right answer. Boom. Just enough times. Fracture glass, Yeah, so they're big too. Those son of bitches are like 3 feet.
They are the worst.
Huge. These things are
awful.
Huge, dude. Flying through. I don't think they're awful. I think they're pretty talented.
They are persistent.
They do got bird brain though. They're a little stupid. They are a little stupid.
Those bird brains.
But your wife? So your wife, she shoveled the snow and then she smoked the meat.
Yep.
And then she hit a slingshot near a woodpecker.
Raise the kids.
Yeah, and if there's any tool thing, she's got a big toolbox. If there's ever any things that need to fix it, she's on it.
Your wife's a dog.
Leah is an absolute beast. Absolute.
Well, we got a great toolbox. I bought it for her, and she does the work. It's perfect.
You're an absolute gentleman, obviously, Ian. Absolute gentleman.
What a Christmas gift.
Hey,
open it up.
I got an iron for you.
Yep.
I got a toolbox for you. I got a new smoker. You're going to need weekly prep.
Surprise!
Shovel for the snow.
Brand new
shovel. Yep. We got a great shovel. Big, wide, easy to use.
Metal tip. Got a metal tip down there.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's.
You have no idea.
Nicely.
You have no idea.
I've seen it.
Couple rakes.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, you're one of one, brother, and we appreciate that. But you do have great NFL information. A player has now joined an ownership group, so for that we shall celebrate. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Rap Sheet, it was announced that Charles Woodson has a very, 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 very small minority ownership stake in the Cleveland Browns. What does this all entail? I don't think anyone expects him to have the same type of hands-on, stick-to-itiveness with the team that like Brady has with the Raiders. But what all goes into this for Charles Woodson?
It's more, I don't want to say it's symbolic because that kind of minimizes it, but it's really just he's part of the team now, right? To me, it's a really cool thing. And Dolphins did, remember Serena and a couple others were
Mark Anthony
sort of part owners of the Dolphins for a while. I mean, and Brady obviously with the Raiders. It's just a cool way to have a really important or respected person part of your organization. And gives him good access. Infuses the organization with a little money, and now that they can take on these, sort of limited partners, which they've been able to, but obviously there's a lot more private equity money coming in now, just shines the spotlight on it a little bit. But look, Charles Woodson, if you ask him about football, he will tell you what he thinks all the time, and he is an excellent processor of football things. So if they did go to him, I think he'd be great at diagnosing because he tells the truth and doesn't care, which is awesome. But I think it's more of just a symbolic, really cool thing than anything else.
King Curry's also incredible at football, right, AJ?
He's the man, yeah. Unbelievable ball skills, yeah. Just an absolute freak.
Yeah, and AJ, I think people would argue Tom Brady, best ever. Obviously, that's the conversation. Greatest of all time. Charles Woodson also in that conversation for the defensive side.
For sure.
So
no question.
Yeah, I think it's offensive side, obviously defensive side, now getting a little bit of ownership of the league, I think is good news for players. I think we always celebrate that. I think it was reported, and the reason why Ty put extra emphasis on the really, really small percentage, because I think it came out that it was 0.01% or something like that of the team. Did he have to put money up for that, or was that kind of something that was given to him to be an advisor or to help? And do we know what percentage Tom has of the Raiders?
I think, first of all, I assume he gave some money. It doesn't have to be like what the private equity dudes give. I mean, Charles Woodson being a part of it is worth whatever he puts in. And he's going to have, if they're going to go to him, he's still one of the GOATs. So they will listen to him. I believe Brady's portion is public. I feel like we did this. We looked this up and figured out. I just forget what the actual number is. I felt like it was maybe 7, but I believe I would have to do some Googling, and that's weird to see me Googling. I got to tell you definitely do have to pay money. So Woodson definitely
5%, I believe, is the number that it was publicly reported. AP Tone just Googled it. I don't know who's saying it.
Yeah, it says Tom Brady owns 5% stake in Las Vegas Raiders, according to multiple sources. He and his business partner, Tom Wagner, purchased a total of 10% of
That's what it was. Okay. All right, so Brady owns 5, Wagner owns 5. Woodson did have to put up real money at the valuation of whatever it is. So
what do we think the Browns are worth right now?
So that has been one of the really cool things about this is you get to find out a little bit about how these teams are worth, but based on just a little chunk. So let's say the Browns are worth 7 or 8 billion, right? So let's say 7.5 billion. I don't know. So he has to put up whatever the
700,000. If it was $7 billion, it'd be 700,000. If it was 7.5 billion, it'd be 700.
How'd you do that quickly?
Because we were just doing it off of $5 billion earlier. Because, brother, I don't know if you know this. The business side of the thing is what I'm most worried about in basically every situation, because normally that'll lead you to the answer. So as soon as I hear that he's a 0.01% owner, I go like, well, how much money is that actually worth? And then just the easy one is if it's $5 billion, it's 500,000. We did the math there. So
so that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. But if it's $7.5 billion, the Cleveland Browns, I know there's other teams looking around that are like, the Browns are $7.5 billion. They obviously have a great team.
I mean, it could be more. Like 49ers was more. Like it's
Cleveland.
That's the San Francisco 49ers. No offense to the Cleveland Browns, but that's the San Francisco 49ers.
Agreed.
49er faithful is one of those things. I know the dog pound is gigantic in Cleveland and their fans are amazing, but it's like, I think some of these other teams are probably like, that's why that 10% investment from funds that they were allowed to take was like, hey, your teams are worth so much money right now. We are going to open up a 10% stake that you guys are allowed to sell to whoever the hell you want.
Yeah.
If there's somebody that wants to give you guys 7.5 or whatever the hell valuation, and you want to sell 10% of that and pick up a cool $750 million real quick, you can do that. You can certainly do that whenever you want to.
But this stuff this has really mattered, though. Like, talk about the Raiders. Like, that was a big infusion of cash from Brady and Wagner. And then they went out.
0.1, not 0.01. Okay, so it's 0.1, which is, hey, let's go, Charles.
More, yeah.
Get more.
So that's 7 then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 7 mil.
7 mil. It's a lot. But the money matters because, like, it basically means that everyone can spend. And so, like, here's an example. The Raiders go out and pay Chip Kelly $6 million. That's a lot of money for an offensive coordinator. But, like, that money has to come from somewhere. In the past, that probably wouldn't have been what the Raiders would do. Now they go, you know what? We got a little extra. Let's go get the best offensive coordinator we can find. And that's real. I mean, that really matters. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And being able to pay and have money up front, and then you could do upgrade. You could do everything. You can run your business. And the NFL owners were like, yeah, so we own a team, but we don't really, except for the yearly profit. So we won't really benefit off the valuation of this unless we sell the team in the future. Can we get a way to get some money in our pocket? Like 10%. 10%'s enough, right? Yeah, 10. Everybody wants $750 million, maybe get a new yacht, do your thing. Deal. And you can sell to whoever the hell you want. And then all of a sudden you saw all those teams, bang, 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 bang. And it's like, thank you. Who knows if the NFL is going to continue to go up and to the right, but if it is, Ian Rapoport will be on it. Any news going to break on this Friday, News Dump Friday, you think?
They have kind of stopped doing the news dump. Now, there could be some, contract extensions could happen at any point. I think Purdy wasn't Purdy last week, Friday at like 4 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I forget when it was. So I don't know if the league office is closed now, but it is a holiday weekend, and I'd be a little surprised if we got a news dump. So hopefully not, but we'll see.
I'm about to go get pretty boozed up and watch my wife do all the hard things.
Doing some smash burgers tonight. I'm doing it.
No, you're not.
Nah, yeah, you're eating.
Yes, I will eat them. Yes, but I will also help with the. You gotta like.
You gotta
she'll
smash
pick
them.
you up and do the.
Yeah.
So messed up. It's really messed up.
We call
the
them
visual
wrap burgers,
is the ridiculous
actually,
part.
because we pick up wrap and we smash wrap off the burgers. So we call them smash wrap burgers around here. How's the horses?
We only have one active horse now. The others we're still good, but have either been retired or sold.
Been sent to the factory.
No, still alive and doing great. Okay. We only have one Langdon now. We've we need to restock.
You ever ride those things? You ever hop on a back?
No, I mean on our honeymoon, I rode a horse. It was not great. It was not pretty. Man.
It was just bopping you around.
Yeah, it just hurts the.
Think about jockey.
Sorts of places.
Jude the dude, maybe.
Who's that?
His son.
Oh, Jude.
Yeah.
Jude could be maybe a jockey. Maybe get him on the back of a horse.
Jude's tall. Max could be a jockey.
Relatively.
Jeez Louise. Stop burying your kids.
What?
Send them off to somebody else's problem? When's that happen?
We got a month and 4 days to go, roughly. I don't know what
exactly.
Countdown, you asshole.
And he said, we got. Like, this is how many days we got left. Yeah, to celebrate them, right? To be around them.
I'm cherishing every month. We got baseball games tonight. Both of them are playing different games. Same time. It's a disaster, but it'll be fine.
But what happens whenever you ship them off into the woods for 3 months? They just stop playing for their teams? Like, how's that work?
Little League stops. Actually, this next week is playoffs, so Little League stops. They got like an intense sports routine at their camps. So like sports are, pretty intense there, and come back and school starts.
Got some other intense.
And you said they loved it up there, right? Didn't
love it. They have been they every day they ask Alexa how many days left until camp. Like they are. They
can look around and enjoy your life a little bit.
Well, they hate him too.
Yeah, I was about to say they shouldn't be trying to get away from you that bad. Oh my God.
No, they obviously love being with us.
Of course, yeah.
Sure. Weird,
they know what's waiting up there.
Love watching mom shovel the driveway.
Yeah, exactly.
Love watching mom get out the old wrench, go ahead and tighten some bolts.
Yep.
Love it. All right.
He's great.
You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend, Ian. We appreciate you. Rap sheet.
You too, guys. Take care.
Rap sheet.
Shot an 89 today. It feels like a lie.
Yeah.
He said he only used 2 balls today. That's crazy.
Wow.
Not much water.
Well, AJ.
It's true, though.
AJ really put out there what he thinks Rap's game is like. He said some people, don't hit it far enough to lose it.
That was AJ looked at Ian and he goes, he can't lose a ball. So how could you lose a ball if it's always in sight? Yeah. That's what you said.
I've played with people. That is the case, yeah.
Are you going to golf this weekend? Any golfing, or we got a bunch of games?
Yeah, games and stuff. I don't think I will this weekend, but yeah, I don't know what it's been cold here. I don't know what it's like where you are.
Chilly here as well. It's tough for the house, for the thermometer thermostat deal.
Yeah.
My auto I'm learning because it's the first transition and said house.
Oh yeah.
The auto thing. Where the fuck have you been? Where is it? It's been sleeping on the job.
Oh really?
It's not flipping over. It's going one way way too far and never coming back.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all. It's like, hey, you're supposed to flip shit.
I rely on the auto.
Yeah, you're supposed to turn the heat on whenever we need the heat on. You're supposed to turn the AC on whenever we gave you a window.
Yeah.
This is where we're trying to hang out, bub. You need to fucking and that's how I know we're always going to be better than AI.
True. You're right. Yep.
Well,
yeah, because whenever Tim was just doing the thing on the thing to set it in, there wasn't even really numbers, and you just moving and sliding the little thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always felt better than what it feels every other 2 hours.
Yeah.
In the house, it's just like a seesaw. It's like, geez, Louise, we wake this thing up. Is it ever going to work?
I don't know that.
I gotta go do it. Okay, AI, I'll do it in the middle of the night because it's fucking freezing in here.
Yep.
Are you not working? You only work business hours? We heard that from somebody that needs to be working full time.
Amen.
That Google AI thing, though. Those people talking, they look very real.
The movies, yeah.
They made some movies with AI characters. They also made AI Weenie Mobile crashing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
That's right.
Oh, shoot.
It's happening, yeah. I seen them they were at the gridlock area. They were kind of set up.
Yeah, the Weenie 5.
A lot of Weenie celebration going. Ba da 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 Weenie.
Rubbing this Weenie.
We're at the Speedway.
Well, there they are.
Here.
Hey.
6 Weenies. They're gonna race for a few miles. We're all pumped for it.
Hey.
There's a Weenie 500, brother.
Oh.
There's
We got
no
a
way.
wreck, right? We have to see a wreck.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, right. Have you ever seen these Weenie mobiles flying around town? They got great drivers.
Yeah.
Think about the aerodynamics on that thing. The air's good, and then it's not. That thing's trying to get you to do a wheelie the faster you go every single time.
The weather's so cold, though, they might be flipping weenies when they're turning.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know if this is what you said because Zito was talking to me at the same time you were talking. The Weenie mobile crashed in Chicago, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
I couldn't get here.
I wonder if that driver has been...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they shot him.
They chopped him in his...
He's gone.
Yeah.
He got...
Yeah, they took
whacked.
his weenie.
Yeah, he got whacked for that. The Weenie 500 has certainly drawn a lot of expectation and excitement as the stands are packed.
Place is jammed.
Stands are packed for that. Oh, there he is.
Oh.
The guy.
Al
That's Oscar.
Borland?
No, that's Oscar.
Al Borland.
That's actually Oscar.
Meyer?
It's his son.
Yeah, it's Oscar. That's Mr. Meyer.
No, he's about to sing the anthem, it looks like.
They're doing national anthem for the Weenie 500.
Got some
Yeah.
PW.
Hey, I just had 40 of these.
Okay. Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
shit.
And if I were an Oscar Mayer, everyone would be in love with me.
What happened? What's she doing right there? What's she doing?
Blowing the weenie whistle. No way.
The Oscar Mayer wiener whistle from the Santa Claus.
Dude, like the drivers took their hats off.
Oh, my God. That is perfect. All right. Have an incredible Memorial Day weekend. We'll be back on Tuesday. Oh, my God. The Weenie 500 leads into a great weekend of sports. Conference finals tonight, obviously through the weekend. We got some golf. We got 2 blocks back. Good luck to Blocky and his kid. I hope he wins so that Ty
He didn't need it.
Eat all of it
Thank
on
you.
Tuesday. Tuesday, we will be live from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, downtown Indianapolis, in anticipation of Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll see you then. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Goodbye. Really home run there. The fact that wasn't the national anthem.
Yeah.
And we're standing saluting. And it's, if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Perfect.
Couldn't have been better. Wow.
Thought the lips looked a little different, too, when he was singing.
I mean, just the hats off from the behind.
Right.
I thought was that Haley Joe?
Standing. No, that wasn't Haley Joe.
No.
He's
Look
blonde.
at the place. It is packed. Hold on. Go do it right now. Look at all the. Oh, fuck.
I like the Chicago dog in this one.
Don't count
Not
the
the
slaw
snoring?
dog, dude.
Well, that's bro too.
Yeah.
No, the
The snoring.
slaw dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, the slaw.
Holy cow.
I don't know. I feel like the chili dog always has something up its sleeve.
Yeah, but the chili dog, you never know when it's going to fall out.
That's
Right.
true.
Especially in a race.
Slaw dog's a thing?
Slaw dog is certainly
Oh, yeah.
something somewhere.
The fuck's a Seattle dog?
I know what it is.
Do you?
Does this happen every year? Have I missed this every other year?
This is the first time.
What do they put?
Can't have the New York dog.
Armpit hair on Seattle dog or something like that?
I
Are these actual
I don't
real
think-
drivers?
What, I don't know what you mean.
It's cream cheese.
Can't have the New York dog
It's
win
what?
before
cream
the next
cheese and
game.
grilled onions.
That's fucking disgusting.
That doesn't sound like a good dog, but hey, if you were an Oscar Mayer wiener. 19.9 thousand views here on X. We're certainly going to get strike for this. Fox loves whenever we use anything of theirs, just like we to them.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing started, man.
This thing was supposed to start 13 minutes ago as the track clears.
Just like an NBA tip-off.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get out. Oh, he's strapped up. She's strapped up.
Are they not wearing helmets?
She's strapped up.
I believe so.
That is a she. She's strapped up. No helmets is a wild move.
Yeah.
Especially because that some bitch is going to turn sideways there while you're coming around.
Embankment.
You know, because the centrifugal force
Exactly.
is trying to push you into that wall every time you turn, especially with how fast you're going.
Oh, yeah.
So they got banks on those. These cars going sideways, but they're so low to the ground. If you're standing on the inside of the track, you actually don't even see the cars because they're whim, 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 whim. This time, you will actually see a wiener floating around this track if you're standing inside, because the height in which the wiener is sitting atop the chassis, which appears to be an old school.
Pinto?
RV?
Buick? Oldsmobile?
Yeah.
Seabreeze?
Might have been a Cutlass there.
Could have been a Cutlass.
They had a little bit of a long front end.
Yeah.
The
Long body.
stands are kind of packed.
Stands are packed. They will be. They have been for 2 weeks.
Is this the day where they do like the competition where you come in and pit stuff?
Fast Friday. Yes, and the concert that's going on there is a country concert. Who is it? It's They got a big one.
Yeah, it is, I think the lineup is pretty solid this weekend.
So right behind to the right there. Okay, that's the infield to the right, and it is chaos in there. Everything is available for you in there, literally. Merch, shops, good times. There's an air conditioning in there. Shout out to Grandma. She's making her way down there. She's going to try to suck face with one of the drivers, potentially.
Sure.
Hope she doesn't do that, but if she does, she deserves it. Wieners, start your engines. Great call. Great call. Great call by her.
She was at WrestleMania?
Yeah, she was. Got a chance to meet her. I shook her hand. I said, you do great stuff on the internet. I really do appreciate your personality. But everything to the right there is the infield. And when you're in there, you can get lost in there.
Oh, yeah.
They reminded everybody of all the things that can fit inside of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's entire property. I think we have the graphic, the inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway property. They're not going to race until they get all those cars off the thing, I believe, in the top. Boom, here it is. So this is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway property. All those things obviously can fit inside of it. There's a golf course inside of it, like 5 holes, 6 holes, and it's just everywhere. Upper left corner there, left of the Yankee Stadium, that is where it goes down. That is the snake pit. There is DJs playing from 5 a.m. all the way through the end of the race and then some. People get lost in there. Okay, that is quite a wild place. Down here where the Taj Mahal would be, a lot of merch purchases and everything like that. Down to the right, that's the pits. That's where all the pits are and garages, and obviously massive amount of money is paid there. It's a fucking sweet thing. It literally is. There's so much going on. And today the Wieners are on top of the track.
Also today, concert featuring Bret Michaels and All American Rejects.
We are starting.
Oh, here we go.
The Weenie race. The green flag racing for the Wieners. It does appear as if the top right dog, the Chicago dog, has come into a lead. Now they're forming a straight line, trying to use a draft off the Wiener in front of them.
Smart.
Wiener, behind Wiener, behind Wiener, behind Wiener, behind Wiener, behind Wiener, with the Chicago dog in the lead, I do believe. And the chili dog.
Chili dog's got no juice.
In the tail. See, the chili dog's so far behind, it's not even going to be able to do a slingshot off the draft here. That wiener's going to get left behind. Sometimes the stronger wiener's got to go ahead so that the weak wiener can be left behind. The chili dog is currently looking for an exit to this race. And I'll tell you what, the final 3, I don't know if they're touching the first 3 wieners in this particular race. Might be a little souped up engine coming out of the Chicago or Seattle dog.
I'm worried this is a work.
This feels like an F1 situation here.
Bingo.
They went right into a single file.
Oh, this thing stinks. Big surprise. What are we doing?
What, they going 12 miles an hour? It's cool.
This is a 2.5 mile track.
Come on.
Yeah.
This ain't racing.
They are driving.
What are they doing? 18 laps?
Get up on that
This
bank.
is a parade.
50.
How come everybody did just go straight into a single file?
It's a work.
They're not drivers.
Looks like a work, and they're going to have the New York dog win in Indiana before the Knicks game?
They better not disrespect.
You shitting me?
They need to not disrespect the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with these wieners. We need to see some moves. We need to see some
here we
wieners.
go.
There's a wiener going on the outside. We might have 2 wide in the Weenie Mobile race.
Okay, when you hit turn 1.
Oh, shit. Slingshot just happened, I do believe.
This is bullshit.
This is a work. I'm embarrassed for Oscar Mayer Wiener.
I don't think you should. Who is that? Is that Seattle dog or Chicago dog?
That might be Sonoran dog.
Sonoran dog just does a leapfrog move.
Yeah.
Single file back to the. Let's get into the draft. Oh shit! Big lead.
Yeah, massive. We need one of these weenies to go into business for
It's
themselves.
a shy dog. Shy dog's in the lead.
What's the point of watching a race where you don't know who is who? You can't tell who's winning.
But you got to see it for the side. Shy dog with the M dog. What was the M dog?
M dog.
Was it the Sonora?
Why don't they have their toppings on top of what they are?
Because then they wouldn't have the
aerodynamics.
Yeah.
Too much drag.
Yep.
Yeah,
Chai Dog's running away, man.
Chai Dog's got a pretty good little kick.
Around the next turn, they'll fake pass each other again.
Whoa.
And
It did feel like that was a work there when Chai Dog kind of slingshotted. So
They got bathrooms in there, in those things?
I think in the back, you go back, there's a bed back there too.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like a truck, cab.
Looks like a hot dog bun.
Yeah, you can only sleep on your back.
Yeah, it's like a cryo tank.
I mean, they're driving in a flying V formation.
That's so cool.
All right,
That's
thank
amazing.
you, Wienermobile.
Thank you.
AJ, way to drop down from the sky. You did a great job.
Yeah,
All right, let's get out
been
of
a
here.
while.
Let's enjoy the hell out of this weekend. AJ, favorite thing that happened this week was?
Tom Cruise.
I was about to, boy, if you didn't say Tom.
Yeah. Whoa.
It was about to get loud. It was about to get loud.
Oh, no, I know. Trust me.
We apologize that was recorded off time and it was a floating time, so we weren't able to get you on there. I think there's a chance, from what I'm being told, we might get an opportunity to do it again in the future.
Oh, my God.
I think.
Well, he's got 15 movies he's always working on, so hopefully, yeah.
Well, that was part of the scheduling thing. It's like, hey, we think we have a time at this time. We're ahead of schedule. Could come back to this time. And they're like moving and grooving, He's got to watch a movie.
Yep.
First of all, a movie.
Enjoy one.
And he's got to help edit another movie that's probably in post-production. Then he's got to help create a movie that is currently being shot. Then he had to do press for Mission. And then he had to travel around the world while doing it. So, we are very thankful for him making time for us. And for 35 minutes he talked.
Yeah, it was
Unreal.
awesome.
So cool of him. So cool of him to do that.
I think he loved it. I mean, it's different. It was a different definitely a different setting for him. I'm sure it's exciting for him to get to like anything. He's excited for anything, but just a new like novel type show, I guess he hasn't been on.
Yeah, he knew a lot of, because in the interview that we showed there, he said, as we were talking before, I have a lot of respect for you or whatever. As soon as he gets on, we all do a full holy shit, you know, because we're waiting.
Yeah.
And then he gave me a full speech about knowing my story. I know your story, man. I know where you come from.
That's
I know yada, yada, yada. And I'm like,
It's inspiring.
yeah, he said, it is
That's
inspiring.
awesome.
Yeah.
Inspires me.
Man.
And I love popcorn.
I love popcorn.
Just like Blocky inspired Jordan.
Bingo.
Hey, Snoring Dog's down first. They're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was a work all along.
Yep. Everyone's going to get a shot.
Everyone leads a lap.
Every wiener shines.
That's right.
They started with 6 and they're counting down to 1.
That's a wiener mobile.
Champion.
College football made a big decision this week.
Yeah.
Seeding changes. How's it affect Ohio State not getting to play that first weekend?
Oh.
Because the cold helped them then. Will the cold carry into that next week? Ooh.
Shall see.
Ooh.
That $8 million.
What a fucking wild thing. They're just kind of making it up on the fly here. You know, like.
Just trying.
And I appreciate them trying. I do. But that second round, all the home teams losing, all the favorites losing because they were off and it was like rust. Like, I wonder now with the seeding, does that, you know?
Not as much.
How does that affect? Like, Oregon obviously looked vastly different than Oregon had all year.
They were off for a month.
Had a month off. It's like, that's a long time to be off. So do you want the top, like, that's a whole nother conversation. Like, do you want the top seeds? And do we want to change potentially the beginning part so it doesn't carry as long for maybe viewer fatigue?
Yeah, got to move it up.
Team fatigue, team rust, like all those types of things. I think it's something to think about.
Should help those, like Oregon now, in this hypothetical last year would have either played Boise or Indiana in the second round as opposed to the eventual national champions in Ohio State. You'd think they probably would have fared a little bit differently in that one. This should help the second round people that get a bye, you would think.
We got smoke coming out of one of the weenies. One is officially broke down. One is down on the side of the track. Weenie flopped on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I believe it was smoking up. It wasn't the shot dog. I believe it was Snoring Dog.
Oh, shit. Holy cow.
What else happened this week? Tush Push stays.
Yep. The rules. Flag football, Olympics.
Oh, yeah. We got, hey, that's a big deal. You heard about Kyle and Kyler?
Mm-hmm. I saw.
They want to go play for South Korea.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that going to be allowed?
I believe so.
Probably will.
So is it one per team per country?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, it is, I think.
Because, like, will Australia be all the punters?
Could be.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we got a lot of, how many Canadians we got? We got Canadians in the NFL? I'm sure we do.
I'm sure there's Canadians.
At this point,
Chuba Hubbard for the Panthers probably do it all.
if we can't get it done, okay, fuck it.
What do you, fuck what?
Like, if they got 3 NFL guys on a different team, sure, have fun. We got all of them. So if we can't get it done,
We've won 6 straight. 5 out of the last 6.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, sure, Korea can have, Kyler and Kyle Hamilton.
Kyler's going to be very good, I think, at flag football.
Sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But he's still
he's going to tackle football. Nobody can touch him.
He ain't throwing to Jamar and Justin Jefferson. He's throwing to, some schmo. It's like, I don't care if they got a couple.
I wonder if we're going to have to judge, and I'm talking about society, not necessarily this program, because we will always spin something in a positive way. We do, I think. We spin everything somehow into a potential positive at the end of it. A lot of the NBA guys don't try as much, allegedly, in some of those Olympic games, like the qualifying or the practice games or pre-Olympic games, or maybe even in the Olympic games at the beginning, not trying as much. And then whenever it goes, you kind of turn it on. I wonder what the NFL guys will do in this. Will they turn it up?
Oh, yeah.
You think they will?
I think so.
From the jump.
Winning a gold medal is a big fucking
Never
deal.
had the opportunity to do this. A lot of these guys, they're probably agreeing to do this. I'm only going to be able to do this one time because it's 4 years.
Right.
There's going to be a different generation in here. And I might as well put on tape great shit. Hopefully, guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about corners here mostly.
Sure.
Corners, a lot of running. Corners you don't know where you're going. But if our corners decide to just lock down, I mean, that'll be a That should be an absolute rout of absolutely everybody.
Yeah, you talk about Italian team, by the way. Talk about like resumes, like they'll be the first ones ever to have gold medals. Like, how does that not count for anything? I wonder if like Julian Edelman, in his prime, if he was playing, if he has 2 gold medals, does that help his case to get to the Hall of Fame? I would assume.
Interesting.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, I don't want that.
That's going to happen.
You don't like America being a part of the judgment? Team USA?
I don't like flag football being a part of the judgment to go in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but making the flag football team, you're a super duper all-star.
Someone doesn't respect the flag.
Yeah, a Memorial Day weekend.
With an Air Force jersey on? Take that off,
with
son.
a cowboy hat. I mean, there's so many things here.
God damn it, son.
You think Air Force football?
Damn.
You think Air Force
damn it,
football
son.
is putting on flags?
You
I
sons of
think
bitch.
not.
You just saying I don't know no better.
I don't know no better.
That's all you got to say.
Just like rubbing it. If you ain't rubbing, you're not racing. If it's got flags on it, it's not real football.
Sick and tired of hearing your mouth tone.
All right, okay. All right. Shout out to SeatGeek. I don't know if you're going to be able to get tickets to these flag football games, but hopefully we will be able to go watch. The boys win for the United States of America.
Damn sure. Son. Does it mean more than the Super Bowl?
It might.
It's still gold, son.
To some people.
Thank you to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. They are the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and
the moon.
With over 30 million downloads, they're still the number 1 rated ticketing app.
Wow.
Take a minute to take that down. Soak it in.
More than 30 now.
At least 30 million won.
Yeah. 30 million plus.
Unless some people undownloaded it. But they just did that to re-download.
Yeah, exactly.
Because once you experience SeatGeek, you're never going to want to experience anything else.
Ever.
Because AJ, they're actually trying to help you out. Their AI is on your side.
Try not to. They won't catfish you.
No, absolutely not. What you see is what you get. And what you see is a ticket buying platform that is ready to tell you if you're getting ripped off or not.
That's right.
Very rarely do you see that in anything.
No.
Could you imagine any other store saying, you're paying how much for this coffee, brother? You can get a coffee better somewhere else. Put a score next to every single ticket. Red means bad. This is a bad ticket. You can get a better ticket at a better price somewhere else. Green means, hey, this is a good ticket. This is a good ticket. You should buy this, and you should have a time of your life. And when you buy a ticket, you're not just buying like access to a sporting event or a live event. They have tickets to everything. You're buying a story for the rest of your life. Hey, you remember when? Remember when?
Yep.
You're telling these stories at weddings and birthday parties and gatherings forever. You remember when? Is literally what SeatGeek sells.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right now, you can get $30 off with PAT30.
Wow.
PAT 30. You can get $30 off. Obviously, there are some restrictions that apply. Like if it's less than $30, you're not just,
Pirates games.
No.
There's a lot of baseball games.
No, I know. But Pirates
They're not
games
30,
the
are
ones
they?
that come to mind where it's like, hey, those tickets are too.
Is that behind home plate?
What?
For like 25?
Tonight sold out.
Tonight sold out. They got Zambelli fireworks tonight, too.
I'm sure tonight.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
You can get tickets now to Pirates Milwaukee in PNC Park, the nicest ballpark in the United States of America. Zambelli fireworks are coming after a Paul Skeens start. Right now, you can get your tickets to SeatGeek.
Bingo.
Hell yeah.
We have an update from the Wienermobile 500, the Wiener 500.
They canceled it?
Nope. Slaw Dog gets the win in a photo
Shocker.
finish.
Wow.
Slaw
Chili dog
Dog.
tapped his brakes.
Slaw Dog. Who's hog? Slaw Dog. Champions.
Oh, I wish.
Slaw Dog Southeast. If you're down there in the Southeastern Conference, you can see this particular Wienermobile traveling around town.
I bet McGee is going crazy right now.
It was our dog.
You see that? Slaw Dog, he came up.
It was literally our. Did you see? They're representing us. I'm calling McGee right now.
Yep. Can't believe it. Slaw Dog had the inside track. I knew it.
I've been studying. He doesn't have a, remember?
Probably no service then, too.
Green solid, green text.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What's he doing?
He marches to the beat of his own drum.
And that drum has a good beat, doesn't it?
Yep.
Man.
Let's get the hell out of here. Have a great weekend, AJ.
You too, guys.
Boys
Memorial
in the,
Day.
Boys in the back, great work.
Hell yeah, boys.
The Graphic Boys, way to go.
Good work, boys.
Way to go, Rapoport boys. Really good week.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
No. We're going to have a great weekend.
Was it?
So is D-Bone.
Yep.
D-Bone's going to have a great weekend, too. Dirty has a great Indy 500 hat on.
Does.
Mitt had pants from Argentina on yesterday.
Sick.
Yep.
Oh.
The graphic boys really doing it. Talk. Way to go, Talk. Talk's really cool. He was the one that ripped the Jim Irsay tribute video from our program.
Great
which was,
job on that.
Incredible
That was a great
work.
video.
All right. Boys, way to go at the Talks table.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, you too, Paul.
Thanks. You drop your University of Iowa banner.
I'll get it later.
No Bluter, no pennant.
Well, it's because that fucking dirt bike guy shattered Bluter.
Colton.
Yeah, Colt Nichols. He's a good man, great racer.
Dirt bike guy.
What? Did you hear him on Blocky earlier today?
Oh, yeah, I heard him.
I'm done with Blocky.
I mean, Blocky's going to go shoot a 61 today.
Bingo.
Rub it right in your
You're
face.
right. I'm actually fucking starting for the Yanks tonight, too, in Colorado. That's why I got to get out of here.
One half of the hammer.
Dad.
Cowboys, AP. Great work this week.
You great work.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Have a great weekend.
Got to watch Blocky. Blocky tees off in like 20. We got to get out there and watch.
Bingo.
Big 245, I believe, or two. No, I think he already
It's
went
like
off.
250. He's the last tee time today.
Yeah.
Because he's the goat.
Prime time, brother.
Prime time.
So many people watching.
All of them. They said Tiger roars when he's out there.
So maybe, depending, especially when he's hitting hole ones, which he can do and has proven to be able to do in the past. I saw Rory playing this past weekend, and it was like nobody really around. It did look weird.
Because he wasn't with Blocky.
Yeah.
Well, I think Blocky was in that. Remember, Blocky said it wasn't enough people. Do you remember?
No, that's why Blocky's left. He didn't miss the cut. He left.
I hope they bring it for Blocky.
Yeah, they will.
That's an American dream story.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of sick of Blocky.
Maybe we should follow. Maybe we should follow him around at
That's
Oakmont.
just you.
I got a
guys,
chance to meet him. He's a good guy.
you guys should follow his opening 2 rounds at Oakmont.
Is he going to play at Oakmont?
I mean, why wouldn't he? He's top 10 in the.
They're saying Oakmont's going to play harder than it's ever played.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect for Blocky.
So they cut all the trees down?
Dude, it was wild. Back in the 90s, I think it was there in 94 or whatever, it was all trees. Like, it was like a classic golf
Pittsburgh,
course. Yeah.
in the woods.
And then there's not a tree on that course now.
Why'd they do that?
No shade either. If you go to watch, we did that a couple Father's Days ago, and it was 1,010 degrees.
I don't know, to be honest.
And if you don't prepare ahead of time, you got no relief coming.
Yeah.
I saw there's a 295-yard par
number
3.
Longest ever.
Yep.
Somebody will ace it.
Blocky. What are we talking
He's
about?
driving that thing.
Yeah, what are we? It's perfect for
He's
him.
probably driving that.
Yeah.
DJ won the last one there. You gotta.
DeChambeau, 295. What's that? 5
He
wood?
said a 7-iron. He said a 7-iron. I think I saw a quote. He said he's going to use 7 for that hole.
295?
He said a smooth 7 or something. Is it all downhill? What is it? For real, look it up.
I mean, it's slightly. It's probably like
There's
no way he's hitting a
He said a
7.
baby 7. Bryson said a baby 7, I believe.
flat.
Look it up.
Bryson's
I read
talking
that.
yeah,
shit.
he's just
talking
joking.
Yeah, his 7 might be a 4 wood. We don't know.
Yeah, especially with his new clubs.
Are you sure it wasn't 7 wood, AJ?
Yeah, it could have been 7 wood, I guess. You're right.
Probably smooth 7 wood. That
Yeah.
feels good. I didn't even know you have a 7 wood in the bag, but I'm happy.
For
he does.
that exact shot, you hit it high, let it spin, the whole thing.
Oh, so he's coming right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in the slot. Yeah, you got him. He's trying to get to where you are.
You don't need to fucking patronize me, okay?
I forgot about a golf bet until Bubba was in studio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too, to be clear. I completely forgot about it. Still got it. Still got time, especially if Bubba's going to come in here and talk shit the way he did.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bubba. He was good on the
I was
show.
going to say, I forgot that was
He was.
too.
Bubba
He's
was
really
good
good.
on the show.
Almost made one.
He did. He went back and hit like, let's say, 25 balls.
Oh yeah, I saw a little video. He was painting around the hole. Like,
Yes, he was. We actually thought, me personally, these greens are impossible to stick any balls on. Yeah, too far, too hard. Can't make it happen.
Raining.
And then he came out and he was just sticking them. Just. And then one of them should have. Is this the video of the one that should have went in?
Yeah.
This one definitely should have went in. And if you had one of the shit balls, maybe this one goes in.
Oh,
it was shite weather.
Because it probably rolls a little bit more. But yeah, it was rainy. It was cold. He goes out there straight off the interview and just like first two balls, like tink, tink. He's like, oh, let me find it a little bit. Hit a little short on a couple of them. And then as soon as he found what the distance was, it was like.
The amount of English he was putting on all this.
I've never seen it happen back there like that.
Yeah.
He was chipping marshmallows yesterday, too.
I saw he almost caught Kyle Larson. I think it was the same day. I don't think it was yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw him chip Kyle marshmallows in Kyle Larson's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Too big of a marshmallow. I think.
Yeah, you need like the hot chocolate marshmallows probably. Yeah,
Did you see what they had? The jump.
yeah, the big ones.
I think that was way too big. How was Kyle Larson supposed to ever catch that?
I don't know.
Set him up for disaster.
Yeah, a little mouth.
Did.
Yeah, he's
Well, they
he's a smaller guy.
135 pounds. 135 pounds.
Yeah, I think they set him up for because Bubba put that thing there.
Oh, yeah.
And Kyle was like going for it.
Mhm.
I was like, I hope they accomplish his feat. And then you quickly saw that it was a state fair game.
Yeah, no
Like,
chance.
that
Way too
marshmallow
big.
wasn't going to fit in his mouth ever.
Nope.
Like even if you have the perfect catch,
Oh, yeah.
Right off the teeth.
he was never going to be able to
Could've
get.
choked him.
Wait till you see the second one. The second one, they go back the same marshmallow. Shout out to Kyle, by the way.
Yep.
Same marshmallow. I'll do that. And this one, like they'll have a straight on shot, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Different video. A lot of videos of it.
Yep.
They had a straight on shot. He goes for it.
Oh.
It hits him
Yeah.
in
Right in the suck hole.
right
too
there,
big.
Yep.
right there in the puffer.
Yep.
Let's have a fucking great weekend.
Hell yeah.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. That is not an indicator of how this weekend's going to go.
No.
No way.
That thing actually just said, hey, why don't you push your swords down?
It did.
Exactly.
Why don't you go ahead and cut an anchor out of your life this weekend?
Yeah.
Something that you don't like, that doesn't bring any positive energy, you just have around because you've always had it around. Go ahead and just say, you know what? 3-day weekend, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not letting that around. I'm not letting that be. Cut the negative bullshits out of your life. Let's enjoy this thing. A lot of people sacrificed a lot for us to be able to live how we live right now. Let's enjoy it all. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to those who served. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.